Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Tucson Arena where the Arizona Wildcats will face off against the Missouri State Ice Bears. Hi everybody, I am Will Harmon, joined by my broadcast partner Tom Callahan. And Tom, a lot of things to take away from the game last night, but I think overall a pretty good feeling about how last night's game went.
Sure, if you're Arizona, you do come out with a win. You give up 2 late goals, not the way you want to draw it up. But talking to Chad Bertman today before the game, he thought maybe energy might have been part of it, being a little bit tired coming out of the break. And so that tells me maybe the guys didn't hit the bike or the gym. They probably hit more the Christmas cookies, but that's okay. And so that's something you can get past. And you get the legs going again. We talked about Lusby and his debut yesterday and how he looks like he's going to be a great addition for this team. But overall, considering how many guys were out, then you lose Stallhuth to an upper body injury. He will not be in the game tonight. No timetable for his return. So you had a real short bench. And so I understand energy kind of being a thing, and they run out of gas a little bit towards the end of the game. Not unexpected, but they managed to hold on.
Yeah, and you mentioned Josh Lusby, a new addition to this team. Actually, we spoke with him before the game. Our own Adam Freutland spoke with him about his addition and kind of give a character introduction to himself and talked about the game last night as well.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with number 23, Josh Lusby. Josh, you are new to the team. Welcome aboard. Talk a little bit about where you came from.
So I'm new to the team. I'm from the University of Missouri St. Louis. Played baseball there last year after a couple tough injuries in junior, and ended the year there last year.
So why did you decide to come here and come join this hockey team?
I was healthy for a good year at the University of Missouri and just was missing hockey and felt like I needed to come back and play.
Awesome. Well, you did get a chance to play these guys yesterday, get a good chance to see how they played. So what are you guys going to do tonight to make sure you kind of play the same and kind of update how you guys played?
I think we have to clean up our blue lines for sure. No more turnovers there, and put a little bit more pressure on their defensemen and get the pucks down deep, and we'll be all right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Josh. And, of course, welcome to the team, and I will go ahead and send it back up to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn. Well, we heard Josh Lusby there kind of talk about cleaning up the puck around the blue line, which did lead to all 3 of the goals from Missouri State last night. Definitely one of the points of emphasis, I think, from Chad Bertman.
Yeah, turnovers in bad places, too. That was something we did talk about yesterday. Guys kind of opening the slot, trying to go up the middle, or just hurrying a play instead of making the smart, safe play off the boards and out, use the glass, get it out. Yeah, sometimes you want to make the pretty pass. You want to go cross ice through the neutral zone, but those get picked off. So, cleaning that up a little bit, I think, will be good for U of A tonight. They got off to a nice start yesterday. Just didn't always maintain the momentum, and I thought they let Missouri State off the mat a little bit, Will. I thought they could have closed them out, and they didn't. I'd like to see them do that tonight if they get a lead.
Definitely, and one of the things Missouri State will be looking for, they're confident. We'll hear from their captain, Chris Brown, at the end of the first period. He talked about how they felt they were in that game. They could have won it. They had several chances created that they could have scored. Again, though, kind of going back on the defensive end, Steffens played an unbelievable game yesterday for Missouri State that really kept them in, because that game could fall out of favor pretty quickly, 5-6-1 possibly. He kept them in it and gave them a chance to make that late push.
You need your goalie to do that. Both teams, I thought, got pretty good performances from their goalies. Churro let in, maybe that third goal was uncharacteristic, but otherwise I thought he was pretty good. And, Bavolsik will get the start here tonight, so a little bit different look for Arizona in net. But, really, again, the key comes down to U of A, and by the way, getting some guys back tonight will have a little more energy and a little more jump in the lineup, but they really do need to prove they're the better team. The record says so, but they have to show me that, and they have to show everybody else that too, because, again, Missouri never felt they were onto that hockey game, and you could tell by their body language. They didn't quit, they didn't give up, they kept pushing, and right up until the end, even when they were down 4-1, that's an easy time to fold the tent. Instead, they scored twice and made it close in the last minute of the game. So that's something I think U of A really has to focus on.
Definitely, and you had mentioned some of the players that they are getting back tonight, specifically defensively to maybe help clean up. Matthew Hull had a lot of minutes on the ice, but they'll get both Ben Jones and Cameron Timor back tonight, both huge instrumental parts. Jones usually plays on that line with Hull as well, Manny Rowe and Timor usually play together. So having those two guys back defensively is going to be a big help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yesterday Harry Concannon was your 5th defenseman, and that's all you had was 5D. So you're really running 4 plus rotating in Concannon. Tonight you're going to be running 6 full defensemen out there, so 3 deep pair, and then depending on if Chad Berman decides to go with a 7th D or an extra forward tonight, he has the option of either, which is a nice option to have. And so the forward line's also a big re-addition. We haven't even mentioned his name yet, but Bailey Marshall is back off his 1-game suspension that he was serving, and well, there is no bigger addition right now than number 11 coming back.
Yeah, and we kind of highlighted yesterday Chris Westland. It was nice to see him on the score sheet. To now add Bailey Marshall onto that line with Chris Westland and Anthony Cusinelli, and now you have Bailey Marshall on there as well. Again, we have mentioned it. One of the things that they did well, the Wildcats yesterday, was stay out of the penalty box. We talked about how Dawson Marshall and Bailey Marshall kind of headman that penalty kill as well. So having them back in the case that they do go a man down a couple times tonight will be huge as well.
Absolutely, and you don't want to get in the box. I thought they did a nice job of avoiding the unnecessary penalties yesterday. Discipline is going to be another key because we saw how good that Missouri State power play can be. They generated a lot of chances. You don't want to give them opportunities.
Yeah, well, we are just seconds away from dropping the puck. Guys are about to come out for the starting lineups and the national anthem. We'll be right back with Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and hockey fans everywhere. Welcome to the Tucson Convention Center Arena for tonight's Pick the Ring game. Tonight, your Arizona Wildcats take on the Bears from Missouri State University. Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Bears. Starting at left wing, number 79, Alex Rubin. At right wing, number 24, Hunter Cooley. At the center position, number 16, Josh Bell. At left defense, number 20, Matt Gregg. At right defense, number 18, Chris Brown. And in the net tonight for the visiting Bears, number 35, Brady Griffin. The head coach is Jeremy Law. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your number 7 ranked Arizona Wildcats. In his first start for the Wildcats, starting at left wing, number 23, Josh Busby. At right wing, number 27, Max Meyer. At the center position for your Cats, number 11, Bailey Marshall. At left defense, number 20, Maddie Rowe. At right defense, number 9, Cameron Tidor. And in the net tonight for your Wildcats, number 35, Nolan Vivolsek. The head coach is Chad Berman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your hats and face the South Pole, as tonight's national anthem is sung by U of A alumni band member Rebecca Burnett. Okay, I guess we do not have a singer tonight. If we have the recording up there, we can do that. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Davis on the organ. Your referees for tonight's contest is Billy Bob Sazelski. Your linesman tonight, Junior Samples and Major Tony Nelson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the ice Rashina Schrock, MD, Section Chief of Gastrointestinal Medical Oncology and Director of the Clinical Trials Office at the University of Arizona Cancer Center for tonight's ceremonial puck drop. Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremonial puck drop by Dr. Rashina Schrock. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a penalty to announce. Missouri State penalty for delay of game, a 2-minute penalty. Time of that penalty is at 0 minutes.
So we're starting with a delay of game penalty
For the Bears,
against Missouri State.
Brendan Shuck.
Will, we can explain this one because I pointed this out. I thought it was interesting, but before the game, we were watching a little bit of a standoff. So Arizona is starting the game on a power play because there was a standoff between Manny Rowe and the goaltender of record from last night for the Ice Bears, who's not playing tonight, Bailey Steffens. Steffens would not leave the ice. Rowe would not leave the ice. They wanted to be the last guys off after warm-up. Well, guess what? The officials ended up doling out a penalty to Steffens for not leaving the ice, so he earns a delay of game penalty for his team to start things off. So U of A moving in, and it is, by the way, Brady Griffin starting in net tonight for Missouri State. Interesting. I can't recall the last time I saw a game start on a power play.
And just interesting in general, too, because, I mean, Manny Rowe was out there almost just as long. So you could have just gave out a 4v4 right away. But, again, just a great start already for Arizona to be a man up and try and get that started again.
And so there's a blocker save on the near side by Griffin, who gives a little shot there. Marshall on the near side wearing number 11. The pink jerseys tonight for cancer awareness. Pink the rink here for the U of A. I'm wearing my coral pink shirt here tonight as well. And we appreciate the crowd still filing in, by the way, coming in. But that's why U of A wearing pink tonight. Cusinelli will move that one down low, feed in front, shoved wide. Now around to the near side, a backhand try, save made, and the puck is covered at the side of the net by Griffin, and it looks like he'll have his hands full early here. 38 seconds left to go in that power play that started the game. Scoreless here so far, but again, an interesting situation, and the delay penalty handed down. I would imagine, Will, in baseball, the tie goes to the runner, so the home team gets the call here. Manny Rowe gets the benefit of the doubt for the last one to be allowed off the ice. Either way, strange situation.
It was fun to watch, I'll be honest. You know, Manny Rowe didn't look like he was going anywhere either.
And he was standing there with his skates on the ice and just he took his helmet off.
He was leaning up.
Yeah, against the glass, but then Steffens wasn't going anywhere, and he had 1 foot on the ice and just kept looking over his shoulder down the ice into the other corner. Here's a shot by U of A. Griffin, a good glove save there. The southpaw netminder hangs on to that one on the wrist shot there. Let's talk, if we will, a little bit about getting Marshall back. He ends up on a line with Lusby, so those two getting a chance to play together for the first time here tonight. One of the interesting things, Will, that U of A is going to have now is more depth.
And that's the thing, is now you typically have that line, like we had mentioned, of Cusinelli, Westland, and Bailey Marshall on the top line. Now you have two lines of very solid players. Now you can go too deep of players that really could be starting for almost any team. So to add Lusby to that as well is a great addition to the squad as well.
There's a shot and they score! With time running out of the power play, cutting through the slot to his right, Jesse Lowell with a wrister. Sneaks it inside the near post, and it's 1-0 Arizona. So not quite as quick as they jumped on the board yesterday, but, and by the way, not a power play goal by 5 seconds, but still U of A generates the early goal to go ahead.
And Jesse Lowell, who had a great game last night as well, working really hard, getting that shot right in the slot there. Good to put it away, because you kind of got a sense that Griffin was kind of settling in there.
Jesse Lowell. That's Lowell unassisted. Time of your Wildcat goal, 2 minutes, 5 seconds in the first period.
See if they tack any assists onto that one eventually, but for now, Lowell unassisted. And now Missouri State cuts in and a shot, and Pavalsik the save. He'll hang on to that one. As going left to right there, Travis Barrett putting one on net. And a little bit of milling around already and some conversations happening. The way this one ended yesterday, Will, it went from 4-1 to 4-3 real quick. Missouri State had a real push at the end, almost tied it but didn't. U of A gets out with a win. You can imagine that the Ice Bears have what they might feel is unfinished business.
And I think their message, already down one goal, however, though, is they were trying to get out to a good start. You know, it took them a while to kind of get settled in and kind of get some offensive plays going. But I think going down 1-0 again already is obviously not what the doctor ordered there. But again, for Missouri State, you just got to keep doing what you're doing in the third period. You know, working hard and trying the best you can to generate chances going the other way, because we saw how sloppy Arizona kind of was at the blue line with the puck.
Olsen just hit both goal posts in behind Griffin. Puck kept into the right side and sent into the front of the net. It'll end up cleared away here as Barrett will hit the eject button, get it out through center. The Wildcats turning back on a little trouble with the puck down low here. Trying to cut away with it is Hole, and he'll lug it up the ice on the left-hand side. Matthew Hole into the corner, knocked down, centering it in front. It's swept away. Donata Westland leaving it off at the left point. Sent around by Jones. Hole is still playing down low. And now he'll get back to the point, cutting in Cusinelli with a shot. Save made, rebound is still sitting in front. It's free, and they score! Cusinelli able to get to the loose puck that was in behind Griffin. He couldn't find it. His defense couldn't clear it. And Arizona quickly up 2-0.
Well, we saw Arizona eventually get to that 2-0 lead last night, and they're already out to it. An even better start than last night's. And again, I just want to highlight how well Matthew Hull is skating. He is flying across the blue line, and for him to stay pinched in like that, keep the play going, keep working, really helps generate that chance.
So the goals here, we'll get to in just a moment. If we get some helpers on that one, but in the meantime, Arizona's out flying.
Jesse Lowell, and number 12, Chris Westland. Well, that's Cusinelli from Lowell and Westland. Time of your Wildcat goal, 3 minutes, 43 seconds in the first period.
So Lowell and Westland with the assists on the goal. And right now, so how about Lowell already has a 2-point game? And the goals coming a minute, 38 seconds apart. So nice for U of A here. And again, a much more full lineup for U of A tonight. Although Missouri State was down 2-0 yesterday, Will, halfway through the first period, and still, despite falling behind 2-0 and then 4-1, made a game out of it. So it's not over yet.
And one of the things that happened right after that goal was scored there, Manny Rowe turned the puck over at the blue line and led to a 2-on-1 the other way. He did well enough to fight back and win that puck and, not have any damage done. But, again, that's one of the things that we highlighted, and I know that Coach Berman was highlighting as well, was trying to clean that play up.
Jones with it at center, trying to poke it along. Johansson stepping in, has help here in front of the net, trying to get it across, but that one did not connect. There's a long shot. Cannon firing it wide. Put down low to Johansson behind the net. Johansson out the far side, still with it on the backhand. Griffin save, rebound, and that one he had to hold. Good pressure coming down from the left point there as well. I really like the fact that Arizona is getting to the net and getting on those rebounds.
Yeah, they're crashing the net. They're getting bodies in front of there as well. And, all these chances coming from the slot early as well. We generally see Arizona kind of generate chances from the point, which those will probably come as well. But they're getting into some good spaces.
Draw to the right of Griffin. Controlled by Missouri State, and it goes out of play. Fuller tried to give it a ride around the glass, and it went out. So we'll drop it again. Get a fresh biscuit in there. Draw coming up to the right here of the Ice Bears net. 5:16 into the first period. And Missouri State will push it ahead. They'll dump it in. Pavelski will just steer it aside to the corner. Centering feed, still pinballing around in that low slot area. Olsen tying up his man. Concannon lost it in his skates. Pulled out Johansson. They'll feed it around. Arizona to center. Olsen pushing it in. And Griffin, no chances. He'll just cover. Not a bad play at this point. And we've seen twice now Missouri State get off to slow starts. A little shaky. It takes them a minute, but then, Will, we saw yesterday, they eventually found it. They got their legs under them. And hopefully your goaltender keeps you in it long enough to do that. Face off to the left of Griffin. And again, Missouri State trying to break the zone here. A little bit of trouble doing it this time. Kept into the right point by Bird. His shot came back to him. Right side, Bird leaving it off in the corner. Off-angle chance off the outside of the net. And that one will be swept ahead. Skated up on the left side by O'Brien. Tried to feed it into the slot, over skated. Puck was lost at the skates of Armstrong. Ends up at the left point. There's a shot tip. Nice right pad save by Pavelski. Bratton with a redirect there. Got a quality chance. Arizona the other way to center. They'll dump it in. 6:25 gone here in the opening frame. 2-0 Wildcats. Ice Bears push 2-on-2 through center, but elect to dump it in and go for the change there as Greg put it in deep. And that pass was well off the mark. Things seem to have settled a little bit here. So Bailey Marshall back out there tonight after missing his one game for his game disqualification before the break against ASU. And it's kept into the right point by Timor. Puck tipped in front, and Marshall trying to peel it away there. Smith able to work it around the wall, get it out despite the hit. And now racing up to try to grab it is Lohman. Lohman cutting in, stops in. His shot swatted away by the paddle of the goal stick. Quickly moved ahead, right side Arizona. Lusby will dump it into the corner. Stumbles trying to get in after it. Turned over the side of the net. Lusby couldn't get a shot off. There's a chance, stopped by Griffin. Marshall on the off angle. His pass ends up at the right point. Rowe steps down, slides it into the slot, and unable to get the shot away there. It was Meyer. Might have had his stick tied up. Right back in come the Wildcats. Marshall, cross ice feed, goes off a skate out of the zone, and they turn it over. Dumped down, however, and fortunate that Missouri State wanted the change. Wildcats regroup. Lofted onto the right wing side. Coming down under it is Lowell. He's already got a goal and an assist here tonight. Lowell into the high slot, cutting down his hole. Backdoor feed, knocked out of the air. Shot off the outside of the net. Cusinelli almost able to get it inside the post. He'll let it go to the left point. There's a shot tipped wide in front. Westland tried to center, came back to him. Olsen. And too many men on the ice. U of A had 6 out there. Pretty easy to count those 6 bright pink jerseys. And so Missouri State will get handed a power play on a mental mistake.
And for Missouri State, you know, you've had a couple chances going the other way, but this is a golden opportunity to try and get back into this game, try and get the fight back to Arizona. We've seen what this unit can do. You know, Josh Bell, Hunter Cooley, Chris Brown out there. These guys can really move the puck and get some good scoring chances. So Arizona's got to be locked up here.
And the puck will escape the right point and come out to center. Missouri State looking to set it up.
Wildcat penalty, a bench minor for too many men on the ice. Serving the 2-minute penalty is number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. Time of the penalty, 8 minutes, 25 seconds in the first period.
Cusinelli serving the bench minor. There's a long shot that was blocked in front. Balsic making the save on the rebound attempt. Tied up in behind the net. Salnikov trying to come out the near side with it. Looking for a little bit of help. Lohman putting it up to the left point. Now Salnikov getting it over to the right side. Brown. Back over to Salnikov. His cross ice feed. That one knocked away into the corner. Cooley getting it back to the right point. Left side, here's Bell. Salnikov, wrist shot, didn't get through the traffic. Cooley tried to wrap it back around, lost the handle. Still not out, Bell holding. Salnikov into the slot, feeds it down low. Cooley, a shot and a right pant save. Bavalsic, he'll hold.
Quality save from Bavalsic there. His movement has looked great on this power play so far. He's been getting across and getting his body in front of those. But again, though, that power play looks so dangerous. They moved the puck well. They had an extended amount of time in the zone there. Again, Josh Bell, Chris Brown, Hunter Cooley, and then Nikita Salnikov. You know, those guys are moving the puck and getting some good chances.
Drawn to the right of the Arizona net. And Missouri State will keep it in. Try to set it up. Now it's turned over. Bailey Marshall lost the handle, though. And the puck stays in. Time ticking down, 38 seconds to go in the too-many-men power play for Missouri State. Timor moving it ahead. Now 3-on-2 shorthanded. Dawson Marshall in, leaving Timor in. Wrist shot and a pad save there. Nice job by Griffin. Back the other way, though. An odd man situation developing here. Barrett cutting in his shot. Tipped over top of the net. Barrett up with his own rebound to the right point. Long shot in. That one ricochets wide. Sent down the ice by Rowe, and Cusinelli out of the box, so U of A has killed it off. Puck is dumped into the Wildcats' end, and cover and go for a whistle. And well, here we go. A little bit of shoving there as O'Brien went to the net, got knocked down for it. Not as much. Again, it's kind of interesting. These two teams that have played so physical will, while the play's going on, haven't really opted for a whole lot of the rough stuff after.
And we've highlighted kind of Arizona's maturity and discipline, but on the other side of it, Missouri State has been down in a lot of these games, and they've been pretty disciplined as well. You know, only picked up a couple penalties as well last night, so that's a good quality to have as a team. You know, because you can see those things get out of hand really quickly if you start picking up penalties late, and all of a sudden the game gets out of hand.
Fed back into the Arizona end of things. They'll try to break out. Missouri State picks up the forecheck. They threw all 5 guys inside the blue line there and came up with a puck, but couldn't do anything with it. And turned over at center once again by the Wildcats. Arizona will just send it down. Houston pressured in behind his own net. Trying to get it around, turned over in the slot. Johansson trying to get a shot away, and he had his stick tied up. Nice play by Houston to recover and get in front of him. Pass through center is picked off by Hull. He'll walk it back in, trying to get it to Johansson. He couldn't get to it, and now a long lead left side, trying to catch up with this one. Zoy Hockey, his shot save made, and the rebound cleared out by Bavalsic, but to nobody. That'll be an icing. know Pavalsik wanted to get rid of that puck. He might have been a little bit better to take just a second there. I think Will, he didn't realize how much time he had to move the puck. I don't mind him moving it, but he definitely had time to take more of a look.
Yeah, we've seen that stretch pass from Churro as well. You know, they definitely look to move the puck and don't always go for the whistle.
Face off to the right of the Arizona net, ends up in the corner. Missouri State on it. Shot coming in from the point, absorbed by Pavalsik in the pads, no rebound. 8:16 to go in the first, 2-0, Arizona leads. So the face-off will again be to his right. Chipped up the near side wall, the puck just bounces out to center. But right back in comes Missouri State. Well, I've been impressed with their transition. U of A turns the puck over. They move in quickly. They're not able to do anything with it, but they move in quickly. Here's Marshall in, maybe with a chance. His shot, and Griffin able to hold on to that one. But to go back to the point in transition, you can't continue to give Missouri State chances to score off the rush because even though they've been thwarted and largely by their own play so far, yesterday we saw a couple of dangerous chances off the rush. One of those could go in.
Yeah, they're dangerous breaking out on those plays as well, as we saw last night. All 3 goals coming from breakout chances. And for Arizona, they are doing well, but, you know, they definitely could be doing better.
There's a quick shot, right pad save Griffin on that low wrister from Cusinelli. He'll turn one in on net again, tipped wide. Westland cycling on the far side. Wrist shot, save made, big rebound, and falling on his way to it was Lowell. Almost looked like he had tape on the skates there. Puck comes out of the zone. Armstrong off the boards, right back in. Out to center, here's Rowe. Rowe will dump it back in. Bouncing puck, Lowell almost got to it, swatted away, not out though, Cusinelli. Cutting in front, shot off the outside of the net. 7:03 to go here in the first, 2-0. Arizona in the lead, Rowe on the right side, into the corner, tried to center, knocked behind the net. And now at the line, trying to step up and hold it in. Olsen was knocked down, puck comes out. Both teams will go for the change. Timor trying to move it back ahead, chipped into the right wing side, and Dawson Marshall on it, looking to center. He's pinned up on the wall, got it towards the side of the net. Comes back to him. Marshall into the slot. Johansson tried to toe drag, couldn't get it to work. Rowe steps up, keeps it in. Right side Marshall. In behind the net, jam play there. Johansson, Griffin holds the post and hangs on. So I was wondering what kind of game Brady Griffin was going to have early. Got beat. First one, great shot by Lowell, and even the second one, you know, but it's easy to get in your own head when you're down 2 that quick as a goaltender, but he's played pretty well since.
Yeah, he's definitely settled in here, and you know, we did see him make a couple stops initially before letting in any goals, and you know, we saw the play that Steffens was able to have last night and how he was able to keep him in the game. It looks like Griffin is kind of going down that same route at the moment. You know, yeah, you have 2 earlier goals, but again, this is the same scoreline it was in the first period last night, and Missouri State was able to come back for it.
And Will, something we highlighted in the pregame show is not letting a team up off the mat, and that's something that you know, Coach Berman highlighted when I talked to him before the game. He said we just have to put teams away. He likened it to a UFC fighter. They get that knockdown, they jump right on the guy and try to get the submission. And so he wants to see his team pounce.
And the thing is that they're definitely capable of it too. So I think that's kind of one of the, maybe not frustrations, but it's definitely one of the key things moving forward for the rest of the season and headed into the national tournament. If they get a lead, they're going to need to start putting teams away because good teams can come back.
Up the right side, Olsen is tackled on the near side wall. Puck ends up far side. Jones on a roller, sends it right back down. Olsen near corner. Onto the right wing side, Marshall. Marshall behind the net. Olsen put a shoulder into his man. Johansson chasing to the far side, and a fan on clear gives it to him. He'll try a shot through traffic, tipped on a play. We get a whistle, 5:29 to go in the first, 2-0. Wildcats in the lead, and a little bit of shoving. That one between Olsen and Jordan Bratton. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to send them both off here, Will, and try to kind of keep control of things early.
And Olsen in last night's game had that offsetting roughing penalty that put Arizona on a 4-on-3. Maybe some tensions boiling over from last night still.
So offsetting Miners here. Four on four, we will skate for the next 2 minutes. And let's see who the open ice favors a little bit here.
Jordan Bratton, 2 minutes for roughing. The Wildcats penalty on number 14, Kelly Olsen. 2 minutes for roughing. Both penalties at 14 minutes, 31 seconds in the first period.
So they both get 2 minutes for roughing. Missouri State trying to go to work here in the Arizona end. But a shot into the shin pads of Cusinelli. He's off. Cusinelli breaking the other way in with a shot. He scores! Anthony Cusinelli buries it under the crossbar. A 4-on-4 goal, and it's 3-0 Wildcats.
Well, you had asked, what team this benefits having the open ice, and for a little bit there, we were kind of saying, Missouri State has these breakout chances going the other way, so you would think, with the open ice that would maybe more benefit Missouri State, but if you give Cusinelli a chance to break out, he's gonna be dangerous.
So 15:02 time of the goal for Cusinelli, second of the night, 12th of the season, a 4-on-4 goal. And now Arizona with a 3-goal lead. 4.5 left to go here in this first period. And still some time on this 4-on-4, just under a minute. Wildcats trying to push in. The puck goes right into that pile and now out of play. Let's see if they keep the face-off inside or not. Indeed they will. Marshall out there with Meyer. Hole back on the right side of the D. And Missouri State able to push this one ahead. Hole got a stick on that pass, but chasing it down to the corner is Salnikov. Salnikov around to the far side. To the right point. Puck kept in there. Feed to the left point, Brown holding on to it. Brown, long shot in, Bavalsic the save. Let the rebound escape, however. Bell leaving it off to Brown to the left side. Brown trying to cut down, lost the puck to Jones. Jones couldn't clear. Brown with a rolling puck, his shot is blocked, and now 2-on-1. Bailey Marshall has Meyer with him, sends it over, one time, score! Max Meyer, a one-timer from the far dot, converts on the 2-on-1. A second 4-on-4 goal, and Arizona's got a 4-0 lead.
Well, already the difference from last night to tonight, it's clear that having some of these guys back like Bailey Marshall is making a huge difference tonight. And again, you didn't, a 3-0 lead for Arizona is kind of what you want, but you almost felt like they needed that fourth goal because, last night we saw how keeping Missouri State in the game was, crucial for letting Missouri State back into the game. So, for tonight to have them kind of put their foot on the gas, that's huge. Missouri State will take their time out right now.
So timeout taken by Missouri State here, Will. And unlike yesterday, where they fell down 2-0, but then kind of got back into it, this 4-on-4 has now seen Arizona double its lead. And again, Missouri State has not quite done as much maybe off the rush tonight as we saw yesterday and generated quite as much. And, let's face it, like Meyer's shot hit was a beauty just now. One-timer inside the post. hard save for a goaltender
Right.
to make. So it's not that Arizona's not playing well, but boy, if you're Missouri State, I almost am at a loss for what to tell them outside of maybe keep doing what you're doing, but just work harder, because the chances are there. They're just not finishing them.
Right, and Arizona's taking advantage of their chances. And with this open ice here, this 4v4 has really brought a lot of ice to have Bailey Marshall have that opportunity to feed that puck to Meyer. So again, for Arizona, you like what you see. You like that they're taking advantage of their chances and not hanging back.
Well, the 4-on-4 is over, mercifully, if you're a Missouri State fan, and if you're Arizona, maybe you'd like to play the rest of the game 4-on-4. But 5-on-5 we are. 3 minutes to go in this opening period. 4-0 Wildcats. And Arizona scooping it in front. Johansson goes through the front of the net, and that puck slapped out of the zone. Timor, Dawson Marshall off his skate, trying to catch up to it. Dumped in by the Ice Bears. Balsick stopping it behind the net, trying to feed it out of there. Salnikov put it on goal, tipped in behind the net. Away comes Arizona. Busting up through the middle, Cusinelli. He's already looking for the hat trick here. Could not finish the play. Back the other way again. Ice Bears tried to thread a pass through. That one is picked off. Timor turning it the other way. Into the right side is Dungy to Timor. Timor. Backhand into the slot. Cusinelli scores! There it is! Anthony Cusinelli with a first period hat trick. 5-0 Wildcats.
And for that goal specifically, I think that's kind of a backbreaker there for Missouri State. We saw Arizona kind of doing whatever they wanted. And we saw to give Cusinelli that kind of room in the slot, he's going to take advantage. And, defensively, I think Missouri State has to kind of get some bodies on guys.
Should be Timor and Dungy on the assists. And they're going to make a goalie change. Brendan Schuck will come into the game. And so a tough night for the starting goaltender, Brady Griffin. He gives up 5 in 17 minutes and 58 seconds of work. And all really, really good shots, Will. And that's a tough one for a goalie. You hate getting beat 5 times in any game, let alone a period. We'll come back to that as Missouri State pushing up on the break left side, but the pass did not find Lounder. He was unable to get there. And now back up on the right side, here's Marshall. Marshall trying to cut in. That one is tipped away to the near side. Hole moving down the right wing. And into the near corner. Cutting in front of the net. No, Lusby wrapped it around and couldn't get it to go. Puck ends up back in the corner with 1:20 to go here in the first.
Oh, pick it out.
On the near side, here's Lusby. Played to the right point. Puck's still not out of there. And now it escapes hole. Down it goes. 1 minute to go here in the first. 5-0 at this point. And Missouri State trying to regroup here. Up the left side, there's a wrist shot. That missed the net. Comes around to the right side. Bell on it again. Sent it wide of the goal. And now there's a chance. Brown trying to shovel it to the front of the net. Ends up at the left point. Cooley hanging on. Send it to the right side to Brown. 30 seconds to go in the period. And Missouri State with its best shift yet. Cooley up to the blue line. Wrist shot. Gets through. Pavalsik the save. Rebound. Cooley jammed it wide. And one of the Ice Bears ended up in the net with Pavalsik. And unfortunately, he is hurt. Yeah, boy, that is not good. Will didn't see which Ice Bear that was that went in, but caught him pretty solid in there, and he is down and he is hurting.
Yeah, body's going towards the net. I mean, you never want to see anyone hurt, but for a guy like Bibbs, who has been a solid backup and has been getting a lot of games, and he's looked solid so far tonight as well. You hope he can kind of hang in there.
It's always, I mean, sometimes you get a stinger and it hurts real bad at first, and then it goes away a little bit. I'm hoping that's what happened here because he reacted kind of severely. But hard to say. I didn't even see what exactly got it, and we've got some players kind of in the way there. Can't even really tell what they're talking to him about. So you just got your fingers crossed, and you never want to see anybody get hurt, either team. It's especially tough with your goaltender.
Well, while we have this opportunity to play, Anthony Cusinelli with the first period hat trick, a guy who the team always kind of looks towards to get that goals and just kind of scoring chances generated. Having a great first period. You love to see that from him, as we saw Chris Weston last night.
And now you have Marshall back, and they've been kind of still rolling through and juggling up the lines a little bit because they have the extra forward, they have the extra D out there tonight. So we're seeing that the pairings haven't quite settled, and I think for Chad Berman too, trying to figure out where exactly, a guy like Lusby belongs in the lineup, try to find line mates that work with him. He could definitely be a guy who makes a difference, and nice to see Bavalsik will stay in the game. But, there's going to be a little bit of experimentation here, Will, while they figure those things out.
Yeah, and while you add a guy like Lusby too, he has a very diverse style of play so far from the short time that we've got to see him. He's a guy who looks like he's dangerous going forward, but I would not be surprised to see him out on penalty kills. He's a guy who works really hard defensively, and when he does, he generates chances going forward. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him out on some PKs actually as well, just kind of see how he does.
And so right now, the time ticking down here in this first period. Puck at the right point. There's a shot that is blocked. Ricochets not out of the zone, kept in. And another chance in the slot. That one nicely defended there. Getting a stick on it was Olsen, and that'll run the period out. So at this point, it's a 5-0 game. And the mindset and the mentality of not only Arizona coming back in the second period, but Will, I'm also pretty interested to see what we're going to get out of Missouri State.
Yeah, and especially on the road. It's the third game where, the game last night was a game they felt like they could have won. And then, you go back to the game on Thursday against ASU, the 8-1 defeat, and now down 5-0. When you're on the road, that could be, there's two different things that can happen. You can, be hungry, try and get the most that you can out of it, try and get some good shifts, try and get some positives to take away. Or it's, let's just get through this and get back on the bus and head home. And from what we talked to Chris Brown about, which we'll have that interview of coming back into the second period, this team's hungry. They think that they could have won last night, and I think they'll come back ready to go and hopefully get some chances going the other way.
Well, we shall see how it's going to pan itself out here. But right now, kind of looking at it from a standpoint of, Arizona did, I think, more of what Coach Berman wanted them to do, and that especially that 4-on-4 was great. They got the 2 goals, really were able to push the pace, and so you look for them to now come out in the second period and not take the foot off the gas. I think they did that a little bit yesterday. Yeah, 5-0's a big lead, but you want to make sure that Missouri State, who I thought actually played their best hockey the last 90 seconds of the first period, don't let them carry that momentum over.
Definitely not, and we saw how quickly they could come back in the game last night. So, these guys are never out of it. They never think that they're out of it. So for them coming back in the second period, you got to make sure Arizona's playing the exact way. Almost a perfect period for Arizona. Again, so many things happened, but you almost forgot that Jesse Lowell started off with a goal and an assist right away. He's playing some good hockey. Again, the hat trick for Cusinelli. Max Meyer and Bailey Marshall and Lusby. That line looked like it's working pretty well together. So that's also another bright spot. So a lot of good things to take away for Arizona.
Absolutely, it is 5-0 Arizona after one period of play. And so Will and I will take a break here. When we come back, we will maneuver on into our first period intermission report here from Tucson Arena. And the Wildcats with that 5-goal lead want to see if they can close out this weekend series with a sweep of the Missouri State Ice Bears. We'll be right back with more in just a moment. This is Arizona Wildcats hockey.
I'm Timothy Gasson. They call me the AZ Puckman. I've been following hockey at the University of Arizona for more than 30 years. and this is my Wildcat Hockey Report. Welcome back to the Wildcat Hockey Report. I'm with Nolan Bivalczyk, goaltender for the Arizona Wildcats. And Nolan, first of all, this is going to be your junior year here. Can you talk a little bit about your development from your freshman year to now? You're becoming a more complete hockey player. What has helped you in your development as a goaltender here at the U of A?
Well, my freshman year, obviously, I was more of a third string goalie, trying to make my way into second string. Definitely working on just really getting my routine down and really just getting set during practice and stuff. And when I got the opportunity to play, I was obviously giving my fullest effort in the game. Last year, I ended up playing a lot more games than I was expected to, and it really gave me more confidence on the ice. And then this year, I just hope to maybe take over that first string role, but definitely back up Churro and see what we do.
Now, every hockey player goes through a lot of training, but for a goaltender, is there anything that can really replicate game action? Do you really grow as a goaltender through game action?
No, it's more of like fine-tuning during the games. Practice is really where we want to focus and just kind of get set on our angles and just make sure that we're always square to the puck. But then once we get in the game, it's just really more of experiencing that practice that we've had.
So you're one of the goaltenders who believes you play as well as you practice. I've talked to goaltenders who don't like practice at all, and they're saving everything for the game. But a lot of Hall of Fame goaltenders believe you play in a game as well as you practice. So you believe in that?
Yes, yeah, I do.
So do you have any set goals for this year, Nolan?
I think as a team goal, we definitely want to be at the top. Personally, I think I want to be in that top 5 of top goaltenders in the league, and just really try to push myself and Churro just to be the top goalies in the league.
Fabulous. Well, we've been talking with junior goaltender Nolan Bivalczyk. Thanks, Nolan, and go Cats.
Thank you.
There's another goal. That's a beautiful tip in by Tyler Griffith. That's Ethan Scaluth with the goal. There's a shot to goal. Arizona takes the lead. Anthony Cuccinelli with the backhander. He shoots. He scores. Your Arizona Wildcats, champions of the Cactus Cup.
I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm here with Bailey Marshall. Bailey, reflecting a little bit on last season, you had a great season, 74 points, MVP, but that was last season. Now we're in this season. Are you doing anything different? What are some things that you're working on to kind of make this season almost or better than last season?
Haven't really been able to get on the ice much this summer, so really trying to focus on just getting back into the swing of things, getting my shot right, making sure that I'm getting a little more endurance. So right now I'm working on that so that I can get back into how I was doing last season.
There is another Marshall on this team. He is related to you. His name is Dawson. That is your younger brother. So talk a little bit about what it's like to have a brother on the team. Are there any rivalries? Is he in the locker room trying to fight with you all the time, trying to maybe be better? What's that all about?
Yeah, no, last year was actually our first season playing together, and it was pretty awesome. If you watch the games, me and Dawson penalty kill together a lot of the times, and we definitely do well. We mesh well out there in the penalty kill for that. Other than that, I'd say he looks up to me as a bigger brother and on the ice just to kind of try and compete with me a little bit during practice and stuff like that. But yeah, we definitely enjoy penalty killing together, and I think we do a pretty good job of that as well.
So he obviously looks up to you. So what are some advice that you give him to kind of, move on, and some things that you tell him?
Yeah, just kind of he's just got to keep working and make sure that he's playing his role and not to try and be a player that he's not. He's pretty good grinding in the corners and just plays his role as a fourth line kind of guy and penalty killer really well. So just try and not be anybody else and just play how he should be playing.
We've been talking with Bailey Marshall, and we will be right back with more of the Wildcat Hockey Report.
I am Will Harmon here with sophomore defenseman Matthew Hull. Matthew, pretty big season last year as a freshman. What have you done differently to try and continue that momentum going into now your sophomore year?
Mostly just my confidence, just getting used to, last year was pretty big stepping in, but I think this year being more confident on the blue line and just playing like I regularly do.
And you're a St. Louis guy, Stanley Cup champions last year. What would it be like for the University of Arizona Wildcats to win the championship this year?
Winning a championship would be amazing, but right now we're just focused on each game at a time, and getting to the national championship is definitely the first step. WCHL conference championship is also another step, but not really looking towards that at first, but yeah, it would definitely be amazing, yeah.
I've been with Matthew Hull, and now we are sending it back to the Wildcat Hockey Report.
It's time for another Arizona Wildcat Hockey This or That.
Okay, I feel like this one's a little obvious. Mustache or beard?
Muzzies.
Why?
Better style, and I try to look my best.
Does anything ever get stuck?
Yeah, when I eat a sandwich, I have to like lift the upper lip up so I don't eat hairs.
Bench or penalty box?
As of recently, it's been penalty box.
Why?
I'm not meaning to. I've just been a little too physical.
Okay. USA or Canada?
USA.
Why?
It's where I've lived my whole life.
Friends or The Office?
The Friends.
Why?
It's the OG before The Office.
Okay. Morning or a night person?
Night.
Why?
Waking up just isn't my thing.
Warm-up time. Hello, Tucson, Arizona. Hiya, Joe. Have a good one, guys. Have a good one. Work hard.
Gets going. Let's take a look at the south.
All right, fellas, have a good one now. Keep 'em down. Let's go. Nah. Up easy. Too many men here.
I know in the past you've talked about trying to create a cooperative atmosphere on the ice between yourself, the teams, and the coaching staffs. Talk about your approach to officiating what can be a very difficult game.
Well, certainly at this level, you've got guys that know the game, and basically they know you. You've been working with them for 2, 3, 4 years, and you get a rapport with them. I don't have any animosity toward anybody at this level. They know what I expect, and they do their job, and I do my job, and everybody's happy. Hey, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Shut up! Shut up! So we're getting even? All right, cool. I like it.
We have 10 feet from our boards.
No, you don't.
We don't?
No.
No?
No, you have to be at the bench.
I'm sorry?
You have to be at the bench. Go 10 feet. Your goaltender does. Your goaltender's got 10 feet if you're going to pull the goaltender. That's sure. Yeah, you bet. Anytime. Well, I think went rather well. Stick down, stick down, stick down. Let's go, move it, move it. That's all, that's all. Easy in front now, easy in front. I got it loose, let's go. Move it, move it. It's loose. Nothing so far, let's go. Get a clue. You want to go for 10?
Arizona State goal by number 8, Jason.
You guys gotta start calling some of that, huh?
What's that?
Just the blatant, like when we get scoring opportunities taken away. We don't care about the ticky but like cross checks in front and that.
Soft hook.
Yeah, that was a breakaway.
I was watching.
Can't nobody else work with us. Good period.
Up. No problem there. No problem. Let him go, 5. Good job.
How long you know me? Couple years?
Oh, come on. Why did you come over there? Huh? I would never throw a guy. I wouldn't even throw a guy. Are you kidding me? Come on, that's not enough. Knock it off.
You gotta give him a penalty. He was screwed with our goalie. You saw it.
No, I didn't see it. I was following the puck.
What was he doing?
Yeah. That was a pretty bad cheap shot there.
Was it?
At number 7, he's the guy. Same thing last time we played.
7?
I sat out for 2 weeks because of him. Cheap shots, you know?
I'll watch him. Thanks. That was a pretty good game. Just trying to capture the spirit of the thing.
Your hometown hockey team, your Western Collegiate Hockey League champions, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Support your Wildcats as they battle ASU for another Cactus Cup championship and more at the Tucson Arena. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
All right, welcome back to the Tucson Arena, where the Arizona Wildcats are up by a score of 5-0 over Missouri State. Before the game, our own Autumn Foytland caught up with the captain of Missouri State, Chris Brown, kind of talked about the things that happened in last night's game and kind of what he was trying to do tonight.
Hi, I'm Autumn Foytland, and I'm here with number 18, Chris Brown of the Missouri State Ice Bears. Chris, you guys did get to play these U of A guys yesterday. Talk a little bit about that game.
Well, they're a good team. I mean, we've played them in a couple years past, and they always play us well. They've had our number recently. Yesterday ended up being 4-3. We got a couple late ones, made it close. Tried to make a push at the end, but couldn't quite tuck it in. Their goalie played well. He's a solid goaltender, and they have a good team.
So coming off that tough loss last night, what are you guys going to do to kind of improve your game tonight?
I think a lot of things worked for us yesterday. We just couldn't really score, so I think keep using our speed, keep getting pucks deep. We were hitting them pretty well yesterday, so that was working, and I guess just keep throwing pucks in the net and hoping we can find a way to beat that goalie.
Awesome. Well, we've been speaking with number 18, Chris Brown, and I will send it back up to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn. Well, things probably haven't gone quite the way that Chris Brown was expecting with this game so far, but you do like the energy and kind of the mentality for the team. You know, as we mentioned, headed into the break, 2 losses so far on this Arizona road trip, and now being down 5-0. There's a couple different ways that you can take this. You can just kind of roll over, just try not to pick up any injuries, and just head back on the bus, or as we saw last night, you're never out of it. And as Arizona was kind of sloppy with the puck, Missouri State was able to take advantage of those opportunities. So do we see more of that headed into the second period? I don't know. I think Arizona's playing a really good game so far.
Yeah, it's interesting, Will, because Arizona, we've seen them be both teams this year. We've seen them be the team that's put away another team. We've seen them be the team that lets another team back in a game. And inconsistencies over the course of a season, you can attribute to a lot of things, whether it's injuries or, just different lineup combinations, things that happen, momentum within a game. But right now, Arizona, I thought, did exactly what they needed to do in period number 1. They got the lead, then they built on it. They did kind of, again, take the foot off the gas towards the end of the period, and Missouri State had some good chances, didn't score. So now, if you're Arizona, you're going to come out. You have to know that if there is a gasp left in Missouri State, you're going to see it right now. This is the big moment in this game, because if you're able to weather the first 5 or so minutes of this period, you will get through what gas they have left in the tank. And if they can do that, then I think, okay, you can pretty much put this one in the books at that point. You still have to play all 60 minutes to win a hockey game, but that's really the challenge for me, is the start of this period.
And I think to try and get back into this game, I guess Arizona has 5 goals, but I think Arizona did an excellent job taking advantage of the opportunities that they had. We saw the one-timer by Max Meyer on that the 2-on-1 breakout that, it's just a great shot. There's almost nothing you can do about that as a goaltender. And a couple of the other goals, Cusinelli had a few that, those are just great shots. And so for them defensively, you have to try and keep that in the back of your head that, we're doing most of the right things, and we have seen them, Missouri State, break out going the other way. And with Bavalsik, we saw him go down kind of at the end of the period. If he comes back out, you wonder what his health is like. And, maybe just start trying to put some pucks on net and hope to try and crash the net and get a chance that way.
Well, Bavalsik will come back out, leading the team onto the ice here for the second period, so that's good to see. He was down for a little while there, finished the first period, but apparently it's nothing that's going to keep him out of action here as we return for the second. And it is nice to have a full bench, which they didn't last night, so you can understand maybe them getting a little tired towards the end of things there. But also, it is dispiriting when you are able to put pucks in the net against, a team, and Missouri State has to think to itself, boy, you just wish you could find a way to stop the bleeding. And that's something that, that's up to these guys. The guys in the maroon sweaters have to determine whether or not they're going to come out and make that good, solid, strong push here in the second period. So we will find out here on Pink the Rink Night in support of fighting cancer, and always a popular event here. A good crowd on hand here this evening for the Wildcats and the Ice Bears, and Arizona would love to complete a weekend sweep here of this series. We will start second period action. Bailey Marshall out there with his line and pushing right ahead. Here's Cooley, but that's in for an offside. And right away, Missouri State electing to go forward on that draw, push it ahead and go in after it. See if they try that again here. Bell in against Marshall for the face-off. Bell winning it back, but U of A pushing up. However, another offside, this time against the Wildcats. I think actually slowing things down a little bit here, believe it or not, favors U of A, Will.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the clock is their friend at this point, and we saw that the chances that Missouri State was able to, generate, as we see here with the kind of a breakout play, but, they get going the other way quickly.
Well, they do, and they generate in transition and off the rush. And I think that Missouri State can force turnovers, and they can be aggressive on the forecheck. They may see some big-time opportunities. U of A has to take care of the puck. Here's Timor pushing into the rush, cutting to his right. Timor in with a wrist shot, and that went off a shoulder. And the rebound sitting there cleared around to the near side. Shuck was aggressive on his positioning there. The shot caught him up high. Looked like it left him with a little bit of a stinger, but he's all right. Back in the other way, here's Missouri State. There's a shot tumbling wide. It just went off of Rowe, who went for the block. And now U of A pushing the other way, and they've got numbers. 3-on-2, and Lusby had the puck knocked away, and now a pass in the other way, but Cooley knows the play is in offside and has to leave it. Right back comes U of A. Jones fanned on his lead ahead and send it in. Now the Wildcats will change. Boy, things got a little helter-skelter there for both sides. Wildcats trying to push back in. Here's Westland. He can't make it through, and there's a very easy penalty call against Lowell. Got his stick right in the skates of Barrett, and down he went. Well, this is exactly what you did not want to do if you're Arizona, is get right back in the penalty box.
And that's something that we've highlighted as well, the discipline. And then on the other side, the Missouri State power play. We saw they already had one earlier tonight, no goals, obviously, but Josh Bell, Chris Brown, and Hunter Cooley, and Nikita Salnikov, those guys were able to move that puck real well and get some scoring chances.
And so Missouri State will try to set up on the power play here. O'Brien wheeling in the slot, fanned on the shot, picked away by Westland. He'll backhand it ahead. Meyer into the right side corner after it. Tried to put it back up the wall, but couldn't maintain possession. Nice Bears will reset. Now wedge it into the right side corner, jammed off the glass and right back down by Jones. Jones again able to clear it down, got it the rest of the way this time. Not a very good and an unusually poor, in fact, zone entry for Missouri State there. They put it into a corner, had no speed going after the puck, and it was an easy clear. Here's Salnikov pushing up, Cooley in with a shot, and that one, I thought it was in, I guess not. There's another one off the goal post. So let's call it a crossbar and a goal post. The puck stays out. Here's Cooley on the near side. Backdoor. Bovalsic with a blocker save, and he hangs on. What a stop. And now we get a pile. An incredible stop by Bovalsic as he reaches out with the right arm and knocked that puck out of the air on a point-blank chance.
Oh, an excellent save there from Bovalsic, but two prior to it, going off the crossbar in the post. These are the guys that we highlighted. Chris Brown and Hunter Cooley, one of the guys who put those shots off the bar. They came flying across the blue line, and they're dangerous. And yeah, they're on the power play, but for Arizona, you can't really take any more penalties because Missouri State looks dangerous coming forward.
They really do. They are a team that is built with some speed, which is what makes them dangerous if you're turning the puck over. So we will probably get matching minors out of this deal here. Still waiting for the official indication here, and even now the referee and the linesman coming together about this, and then both captains come over. 5-on-4 is the indication. So those other two minors with Marshall, and I believe it was Lohman was the other player that went off the ice. Those will be coincidental. So we'll stay at 5-on-4. But we're at 4-on-4. I guess not. Oh, okay, double minor for Lohman.
Henrik Lohman, 2 minutes for holding, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcats penalty on number 11, Bailey Marshall, 2 minutes for roughing. Both penalties at 2 minutes 40 seconds in the second period.
Okay, so that explains that one. The extra 2 on the side of Lohman turns this into what will eventually be an Arizona power play. But for now, it's 4-on-4 hockey. So right now, Missouri State, unfortunately, thwarted in their attempts there. Bell trying to rush up, and he's had to take it away by Hedgecote. Hedgecote will skate it in. Try to put it into the left side corner. Dungy up after it. Turn right back up. Brown to Bell. Chopped in over the line, but knocked away by Hedgecote. Armstrong tied up, can't clear the zone. And now the power play is on with Lowell out of the box. But a chance to press on the right side for Missouri State. Shot off the shin pads of Hedgecote. So now it will be Arizona up ahead on the power play. Trying to drive in on that right wing side. A wraparound attempt here. A shot save made. Rebound side of the net is covered and held. So Marshall sitting in the box, serving the rest of his minor, along with Lohman here. They won't be able to get Marshall out until after a whistle. So it'll be 5-on-4 here, and now I think they're adjusting the penalty time clock here. Technically, if we're really going to get into it, they should not have let, well, let's see here. So Lowell, I got to go back. So Lowell went into the box for tripping, so his expires, he comes out. Marshall and Lohman, the first 2 minutes of their penalties run concurrently. that are being counted down. So there's 50 seconds left there. Marshall can't come out until there's a whistle. And so then Lohman will remain in the box for the extra 2 minutes there. What it really should have been, Will, would have been, now they're still trying to figure this out. What it should have been was 4-on-3.
Right.
And then gone to 5-on-4. That's really where all the confusion comes in and why. So now they've taken the 50 seconds off the board for Marshall and dropped it down to 50 seconds for Lohman. So Marshall, at this point, you should just let out of the box and make it a 5-on-4 if that's what you're going to do. We just make it up as we go along. Had it been just straight coincidentals, it would in no way have mattered. And they would have just sat there 2 minutes and waited until a whistle to come out or what have you. But because there was already a power play going on for Missouri State, then they kind of messed everything up here. Okay, so they've now elected to put 50, well, oh, what is going on? Because this is not right either. You still need the extra 2 minutes on there for Lohman, and that's not even on the board. Okay, now it's on the board. But this, U of A won't get its power play time correctly because Marshall can't, well, no, he can now because they pulled a player off the ice. This doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's more 4-on-4, so we saw what Arizona was able to do on the 4-on-4. So
Thank you for the bright side. Thank you for the bright side. Oh, my goodness. So Marshall will not have to wait for a whistle now because there are only 4 Wildcats on the ice. Yeah, I wondered why they were going with, whatever. There's a reason why we're up here. Pocket center. It is 4-on-4 now for the next 12 seconds. It's 5-0 Arizona. Well, if this were a 1-0 game, I think this would be a much bigger headache for the coaches than it really is. And so now, out of the box is Bailey Marshall, and it will be just under a minute on the power play here. And so Arizona will completely shuffle the deck, get new personnel out there. And no real reason to hurry. And, Will, you know, it's kind of interesting. Not that Missouri State's going to be super aggressive on a short-handed forecheck, but I think a lot of the issues that we've been going through here have kind of taken the wind out of their sails a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona's had a lot of, puck movement and chances generated. And on the power play here, Arizona's going to cause Missouri State some trouble. So for Missouri State, you just got to make it through these 2 minutes and maybe hope to get a breakout chance going the other way.
Here's Cusinelli, who had a hat trick in the first period. They'll feed it back up top. Rister there did not get through. Oh, it did get through. In on goal. Meyer with a rebound chance, and he is stopped. Nice save there by Shuck. Here's Cusinelli along the blue line, feeding it to the far dot. Backdoor pass did not connect with Meyer. He sends it up the slot, tipped away but not out. Left point, Cusinelli holding it in. He'll get it up top. Jones feeding it over to the right side. Shot, Marshall scores! Bailey Marshall with a power play goal stretches the lead to 6-0 Wildcats.
And good to see Bailey Marshall get back on the score sheet. I know he had picked up an assist in that first period, but a definite scary goal scorer to play against and try and defend. So for him in his first game back since the break, it's good to see him get on the goal sheet.
So Cusinelli will pick up the primary assist. Power play goal at 6:01. And for Bailey Marshall, that is his 9th goal. Well, let's see now what Missouri State brings.
Give it to number 11, Bailey Marshall. The assist goes to number 13, Matthew Hall, and number second period.
Well, it's 6-0. Marshall with the goal from Hull and Cusinelli. Boy, Cusinelli's having himself a game here today.
Yeah, first period hat trick, and now picking up an assist here as well. You know, again, last night we kind of mentioned how we kind of take Cusinelli for granted sometimes, and you know, you expect him to come up in big situations, but you know, these are the kind of showcase games that really show off how talented he is as a player, and obviously being rewarded on the scoreboard tonight.
And so the face-off after the icing call back down into the Missouri State end of things. Face-off will be to the left of Brendan Shuck, who's into the game in place of Brady Griffin, who played the first almost 18 minutes of the opening frame, gave up 5. That's the first one Shuck has allowed. And Arizona's going right back in on the forecheck here. Armstrong will bank it back around. Shuck can't catch up with it. Marshall trying to force his way behind the net. Johansson coming out with it. Cross ice feed. Got over, but Hedgecoke had to chase it to the wall after it was tipped. Olsen in the pile. Houston trying to get rid of it. Olsen stole it. Olsen cycles for Marshall. Marshall to the front of the net. That one is swept away. Marshall keeping it in, though. A little extra effort there. Puck's still not out of the zone. Good shift there for Arizona. Even though they don't get the chance, boy, they get the zone time. And, Will, anytime you can grind out a good 60, maybe 90 seconds like that in the opposing zone, that's just more momentum you take away.
And especially where all the goal-scoring chances for Missouri State are on those breakout chances and going through the neutral zone at ease. So for them to not even let them break out is huge to continue having this 6-goal lead.
Timor on the near side, sending it around into the corner. Dungy can't quite come up with it. Lusby knocked it off the stick of Brown. He'll get it back. Coming up on 8.5 into the second period, 6-0 Arizona. Dungy gets knocked down. Puck does make its way to center. Timor playing it around to the near side. Lusby up the boards. Arizona, whoop, a little hot foot there for Concannon, trying to get his footing and move the puck along. Pavalsik wanted him to go to the right side. He tried to comply, and he almost pretzeled himself. Puck up top, and a shot is blocked. Lusby will dump it in. Bird, cross ice feed, tipped away to the point. Hole hangs on, feeds it across. Jones, Bird. Around it goes to the far side. O'Brien, heavy hit. He gets knocked down. Puck from the left point is kept in momentarily by Jones, and now backing up the play and keeping it alive as well as Dungy. No chance down low. Bird is knocked down from behind as he goes to the net. Penalty coming up against Matthew Gregg. It'll be a holding call. And boy, Will, to put a little more salt in the wounds, the Wildcats are throwing the occasional heavy hit here.
That's what I was just about to go back to. And from Lusby, you know, from last night and tonight, you've really seen the difference that he's made already. Playing some important minutes, and again, haven't shown some of that physicality that in some games it's kind of lacked for Arizona. And I would love to see him try and get on the score sheet here as well, just to kind of get rewarded with all of his play over the last 2 nights.
2 minutes for holding. 9 minutes, 35 seconds in the second period. Gives your Wildcats a Hogan Transportation power play.
So Arizona already has a power play goal here. Looking for another one. Hole putting it over. There's a shot. That one is fought off by Shuck. Puck not out of the zone. Marshall. Jones. Marshall. Marshall can't get through the traffic. Westland over to the half boards. Jones. Left point, Cusinelli. Jones, one touch, and he fanned on it. That allows a clear ahead. Bell was looking for the home run. And Bavalsik's got to come out and play it away from him. Almost gave it to him. Forced it up the near side boards. 3-on-2, Cusinelli. Now 4-on-3, Cusinelli in the slot, weaving to his left. Wrist shot, save made, and no rebound. Shuck took that one right in the chest protector, was able to hang on. 1:06 to go here in the power play, 9.5 to go in the second period. 6-0 Arizona. Wildcats control the draw. Rowe over to the far side. Wrist shot blocked in front. Lusby on it to Rowe. Rowe backing down. Cross ice feed up in the air. Did not connect. And now it's slapped away in a race up through center. And that one will end thanks to a real nice play there by Manny Rowe, taking the man, riding him off the puck. Brackbill had no chance to get through. Left side into the corner. Driving his way around. Jones down deep. Johansson over there. And now puck in front of backhand. That one is chipped wide. Lowell. Lusby. Rowe. Lusby. One time. And that one is tipped wide. Jones. Rowe. Jones. Try to send it down low. Time ticking down to the power play as it comes to a conclusion here. Rowe up top, slides it over Lusby one time, and he sent it back out the other side. Puck out to center and straight onto the box. Up comes Gregg. Gregg on the left wing, forces one in, block it away by Bavalsik. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be the first Missouri State shot on goal since maybe the opening minutes of the period. Heavy hit there on the near side by Lohman. And one of the U of A players is slow to get up, and now will actually get a whistle. That was Lowell, who was dropped by Lohman. He's okay. Skates off under his own power.
But yeah, going back to the point that you had mentioned, Tom, Missouri State really had their first chance out killing that penalty. Coming out of the box and had a chance going the other way. For Missouri State, I think they're doing a lot of the right things still. I know that sounds maybe weird, but they are. We saw that hit there. They're other than picking up the penalties, I think they have been able to try and get the puck going in the right direction. But Arizona so far maybe playing their most complete game of the entire season right now.
Yeah, it's good to see the Wildcats, and not that, as Coach Berman will say, you still make your mistakes along the way, but maybe they learned a little bit from last night, how things went down, and tonight, they're keeping their foot on the gas. And again, like you said, Missouri State isn't going away, but they're certainly not able to bring it every single shift here so far. They've, had a couple shifts where, okay, maybe they can make some things happen, and then for periods of time, Arizona has done a nice job of the forecheck and the containment in the offensive zone, and that's bottled them up. Speaking of the forecheck, Bird up on it right now. All three men below the goal line for Arizona. And this is how you draw it up. Bird, a wraparound chance out of it, too, and could not get it to go. Puck back to the line, shot, score! Seeing eye wrister gets through for Cam Armstrong. He puts it in just underneath the crossbar, and it's 7-0 Wildcats.
And really that goal comes from all the effort that, we saw from Kevin Bird and the likes of everyone, kind of doing the work down deep. And we saw that puck kind of spit back out to Cam Armstrong. And, this is the type of game for Arizona where everything's going your way, and you really hope to kind of keep that momentum going. We always like to talk about how these high goal scoring games where maybe you like to save a couple of those for other games, but they look great right now.
Cam Armstrong.
Armstrong's first goal of the year.
The assist goes to number 10, Dawson Marshall, and number 4, Kevin Bird. That's Armstrong from Marshall and Bird. Time of your Wildcat goal, 12 minutes, 53 seconds in the second period.
Marshall and Bird the assist. Now Wilson sending it into the front of the net. That one is taken away. And it's nice to see a guy like Bird and a guy like Dawson Marshall on the board as well. Finally, you know, you get to see those guys rewarded for their hard work. They were working hard on that forecheck too, Will. All three of them down there, and that was how you'd want to draw it up.
Yeah, and from those guys specifically, Kevin Bird and Dawson Marshall, we see those type of guys. Coley Olson, another kind of guy who just works hard every shift, and it's noticeable, and it's good to see him get rewarded on the score sheet for those types of plays.
Coming up on 6 minutes left to go in the second period. Arizona through center. Left side, Bailey Marshall. Tried to put it in front. Knocked back to the corner. Marshall got knocked down. Puck hit him. Stays in the corner. Lusby over after it. Lusby behind the net. Turnaround chance. Save made. Rebound. Meyer stopped. And it's pulled out of there. Trying to skate his way to safety is Barrett. Barrett pushing ahead on the right side. Getting the puck back. His shot. Oh, caught Bivalsic right in the mask. He's okay. And Marshall trying to leave it off. Almost gave it up behind the net. Bratton was right there. And there's Hedgecock leading it through center. Had his pocket picked, but Marshall right behind him, able to pitchfork that down the ice. Arizona will grab a change here. Back comes Missouri State. Led on the left side by Smith. In with a shot, and Bivalsic glove save hangs on. So tough for a goaltender when you haven't had much work. You got to stay sharp. You got to stay focused. And a couple of big saves back-to-back there for Bivalsic.
Yeah, he's stayed locked in. He's having a great game as well. You know, moving well, getting across well as well, and great vision on that puck there. But going back to that scoring chance for Missouri State, you know, just time and time again, we kind of see them come across the neutral zone almost at ease. And you know, yeah, you're up 7-0 for Arizona, but those are the types of things that were happening last night that allowed them to get back in the game. So, you know, a couple different factors, obviously the score being one of them, but, you know, those are the types of things to clean up headed forward through the rest of the season for sure.
And one of the arguments, I know people will say, well, it's 7-0. What are the odds of the other team scoring 7 goals to get back into it? Hey, somebody had to score 7 to get to this point.
Right.
So I've seen strange things happen. You know, never say never. Although it does look good, you feel good at this point. Again, that's why you can't take your foot off the gas. It sounds weird, but you got to win the game. Cusinelli with a shot that is gloved down. With 4:32 to go in the second period, 7-0. Arizona in the lead. Boy, maybe the pink jerseys need to make more than one appearance. They really seem to be buzzing out there wearing those pink jerseys for the Pink the Rink game here. Standing up to cancer and helping to raise money as well. And I know I see some folks out there who have their pink jerseys perhaps from previous years, where this game has really become a great tradition here for the Wildcats and offside at the line there. But a great tradition for the team, and I know something the fans look forward to, just like they got to bring their dogs to the game yesterday. You know, and it's nice to see the program is having these different nights for folks who want to come out and reasons to come out and support the team.
And definitely for, you know, for the people who do come to a lot of the games, you know, the pink jersey game and the games where you can bring your dog, those are the types of games that you circle on the calendar and go, oh, we're definitely going to that one. So
2-on-1 developing here. Left side, Johansson. Toe drag in, shot, glove, save, and that is held. And getting the whistle there is Shuck. What a stop. Shuck making the save as the puck was on his right. It fell right down in front of him, and he was able to cover it. Shuck has not played bad since coming into this hockey game. He's only given up 2 goals, and he's really been a reason why, you know, it's not a bigger blowout at this point.
Yeah, that shot from that 7th goal, shot from the point from Armstrong, I mean, just vision was blocked on that one, and for the ones that he has seen, he's been able to get his body in front of.
Yeah, it's kind of the rule of thumb. If the goalie doesn't see it, he's got a real low chance of stopping it. It pretty much has to hit him. Marshall could not hang on to the puck, played around. Here's Timor holding it in, threw it to the slot. Olsen pushed off. Marshall a shot, save, and Easy catch on the rebound there for Shuck as it popped up. And he will freeze it with 3:36 to go in the second. Arizona, okay, so now I kind of get the feeling that the Wildcats, who have had shifts on and off where I felt like they've been able to do what they want, now I feel like they're really able to move the puck almost at will at this point. Maybe the energy is coming out of that Missouri State bench a little bit.
Yeah, and for Arizona, to have all the other guys back who didn't get to play last night, and you wonder if there's still rest for those guys, the guys who didn't actually get to play last night, and apparently not. They're playing really well right now, and really for the first time since earlier in the season, there's a game against the Colorado Buffaloes that a similar game where it was high scoring for Arizona, and we really haven't seen it since that point. I mean, they've beaten teams obviously, but some of those defining foot stomping wins, that are expected with a team with this much talent, we haven't really quite seen that. So for them to come out of the gate after the break already with one of those is a good sight.
Face off to the right of Bavalsek, and again, this line has generated a lot of energy for Missouri State. Bell winning that draw back. And a wrist shot that is blocked, and Cusinelli stepping ahead, and now an odd man the other way, led by Cusinelli in on the right wing side. His shot save made, rebound. Oh, the puck was free, but the whistle goes. The face-off will stay in the offensive zone. But Cusinelli's hungry. He's got 3 already. He's looking for more. 7-0. 3:07 to go here in the second.
He's just 50 years old young. And that's Paul Anderson, who's sitting in section 220.
Face-off will be to the left of Missouri State's net. We got somebody celebrating their big 5-0 here today. There's a long lead up the right side, and Cooley tried to slip through the check of Armstrong there. Concannon after a rolling puck. Sent it back around to Armstrong. Well, we might see a lot more stretch passes out of Missouri State here as they try to get back into this one. Johansson driving on the right side. Couldn't contain the puck. Fed to the left point. Armstrong holding his shot blocked by Cooley. Carried it out of the zone in his gear. Armstrong sent it back in. Smith sending it across. Sent off the glass and into the body of Cooley, and it did not get out. Smith again after it. Cooley, cross ice feed. And now weaving his way up on the left side. Rubin leaving it off. Bell over, popped up in the air. Concannon. Fans wanted a penalty on the push in the back on Bird there, but you're not going to get that call. Rowe. I think they just wanted another power play. That's just being selfish. That's all that is. You want to see your team put a couple more pucks in the net. Well, now we do get a penalty call. Lusby is going to go to the box. We're going to call it interference as he ran into Matt Matty. So with 1:46 left to go here in the period, Arizona is shorthanded. 18:14 time of the interference call. Missouri State, believe it or not, has had 4 power plays in this game.
Wildcat penalty on number 23, Josh Muzzy. 2 minutes for interference. Time is penalty, 18 minutes, 24 seconds in the second period.
Wildcats start with a clear.
Hey, ref, you suck!
And puck left right at the side of the net. Shuck had to quickly get back over there. There's a chance coming in that is whipped up over top. And an errant pass goes between the D all the way down the ice. Hizerote back after it with a minute to go here in the second. He'll try the left side. Missouri State getting it in over the line, but turned over to Johansson, who clears. That hit the player going to the bench. And they'll let that one slide. Cooley will bring it back in left wing. Cooley on the backhand, now behind the net. Pushed up to the right point, kept in there. Brown leaving it off. Cooley down low, a chance in front. That is shoved wide there as Lohman went to the forehand. Bell, high slot through traffic, a shot with the goaltender down. It did not get through. Fans really getting uppity here, wanting a call there. I think they're just going to try to get through this remaining 10 seconds and get out, but let's see. There's a shot. Nice save. Pavelski, he's on the rebound. He got up high to take away the wrister from Selnikov and hangs on. 6.5 seconds to go in the period. And, well, I don't know if there's a reluctance to make another call before the end of the frame or not. Maybe just trying to get out of the gate here, get 40 minutes in the books. Missouri State wins the face-off. Cycle it in behind the net, put out in front, swept away to the corner. That should do it for the period. So now we've got 2 periods in the books, and Arizona with a 7-0 lead.
Missouri State with 7, Arizona with 24. The score after 2 complete periods.
Wow, 24-7, the shot advantage there in that period, which is, well, about right, though. I mean, quite honestly, until that power play, Will, Pavelski didn't have a whole heck of a lot going on.
No, but he's stayed locked in. You know, we did have to see him make a couple big saves. You know, earlier on a power play chance for Missouri State as well. We saw a couple go off the post, and for Pavelski, he stayed locked in. He's looking great out there as well. Obviously, we like to highlight the scoring of Arizona in a 7-0 game, but you know, he's played well as well when he is called upon. Going back to the offense, though, that shot differential is huge, and really is kind of an example of what that period just was too. Arizona really putting the foot down, and it is good to see, and especially for Arizona, a team who has been inconsistent, or it's a 1 period here, 1 period there, and all of a sudden they let teams hang around, and for them to really put this one at an almost unreachable margin headed into the third. I mean, it's a great performance from Arizona, and especially seeing all these guys back out there, and some of the guys who weren't in the lineup last night. It's good to see the puck moving as well as it has, and seeing some of the newer guys and newer lines, and seeing how well everything has gone.
And right now for Arizona, things are going their way. The shots are going in, and there have been some really nice shots. Guys have executed, especially some of those first period goals, and you like to see that too. You like to see guys have the vision for those shots, be able to pick the corners or sneak one in under the bar or whatever it is. And so that also to me is comforting, because sometimes that we talk about rust coming back from this, you know, holiday break. Sometimes it takes you a minute to kind of get that back, but it looks like Arizona's got that pretty well handled.
Yeah, and especially in a weekend series against a team that's in the WCHL, picking up those important wins, especially how things went headed into the break. You know, having both the games, both of the losses to ASU, and how improved they are. You have to pick up every single win that you can in the WCHL with how competitive it is this year.
Well, and Arizona well on its way to a weekend sweep here with 40 minutes in the books. They have a 7-0 lead on Missouri State. Will and I will step aside. When we come back, our second intermission report is on the way. This is Arizona Wildcats hockey.
University of Arizona hockey has a proud history of more than 40 years. Each year we invite back former Arizona players for an alumni weekend. Here's what they had to say about their experiences as Wildcats.
I'm Jeremy Goltz. I played here 90 through 94. I was a defenseman here at the U.
Hi, I'm Eric Holden. I played from 95 to 97. I'm a goaltender.
Shane Fossell, 1991 to 1992, and I played goalie.
Just walking in this building, seeing the boys, I feel like I'm an 18-year-old kid walking in here for the first time. Every year, you know, there's different guys, some guys in, some guys out, but everyone's special, especially last year with Kelly getting his jersey in the rafters. That one was as cool as it gets. But no, these are special, man. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
What's it like to see guys not only you played with, but guys from the spectrum of the 40 years of Arizona hockey, to see them all back here putting on red, white, and blue?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I came up here as a freshman in high school from New Jersey, so some of these guys were my idols until I got on the team myself. This season we seem to have more guys from my year than we've had in the past, so it's good to see the boys come back out that I used to play with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge undertaking every year, and it's great to have the boys come back whenever they can make it. You know, obviously we'd like to see more join. There's obviously a lot of ex-players that we would love to see come back and be a part of this experience.
What is it you remember about your days at Arizona Hockey that sticks in your mind and makes it so special?
I think a couple things. Obviously, you look at the fans. I mean, I remember here last year, I'm rolling in and someone's got a 25-year-old stick that we did at an autograph session. And then obviously, of course, the boys. They're still my best friends in the world. We come back here, we talk about this story, that story, what if we would have done this. So it's just special, man. I mean, I'm sure every university has it, but to me, this one's just a little different. The brotherhood is tight here.
You're part of this revival because you're the goaltender coach for the University of Arizona Wildcats. What is it like now to be the teacher teaching young kids? That you were once in that role. You were once the kid just trying to learn how to be a college goaltender. What's it like now to be the teacher?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very neat experience being able to look back and look at the game again through their eyes. And we have two outstanding, I think they're the two best in the league, goalies. And I can't say that their success is due to anything I'm doing, but I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Does that give you some satisfaction to develop young players and then see them become Arizona hockey players?
Honestly, it's the ultimate. Coaching, we were just talking with Berman Hogues about it, how coaching is, how tough it is, but how rewarding it is to see young kids, Manny Rowe, Churro, however you say his name, as a peewee, he's here tearing it up. Newfie, Decker, all these guys that, I knew as young men are here in my brotherhood, representing the jersey that I love and has really kind of pushed me passion throughout my whole hockey run. So no, it's the ultimate, it's the pinnacle. To see those guys win a national championship would be a dream come true.
Does this give you personal satisfaction, even though your playing days are over, to see the team be doing so well?
Yeah, it feels like the good old days. I mean, that's kind of where we left off back in the 90s. So to see them go through the trials that they've had over the years and to come up strong, it's just a big win right now for us.
Bear down, Eric.
It was extremely important. I mean, it was such a great time in my life. I made some great friends we're all still friends today. And looking back on what we achieved back then at the beginning stages of the ACHA, I think it was pretty important groundwork that was being laid at the time.
For Arizona hockey alumni that haven't come back to Tucson to join an alumni weekend, what can you say to them to tell them to come see their old teammates, meet new teammates that you didn't play with but also played at Arizona hockey, just that they should get involved?
They're missing out. I mean, it's every time you come here, man, there's a guy I haven't seen and I walk by him, I didn't recognize him 15 years. I mean, you've seen the guys even away from the rink, but when you're here skating with them in the locker room, it brings it all back. And, we can get the guys back here. We try every year. We got to get them here. It's just an absolute blast, and they put on a good show for us. So, once again, I'm happy to be here, as always.
Lastly, what is it that you want to say to other Arizona hockey alumni that haven't come back for one of these weekends? They haven't joined the festivities. They haven't done the alumni game. What do you want to say to them?
Boys, you're missing out on all the fun. Come on out. I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Your hockey team. Your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
There is no doubt that number 16, Kelly Walker, is the best of the best. Kelly, when I think of you, I think of the love and the commitment and the greatness you achieved here, right on this ice. Kelly and his teammates were 24-0 versus ASU over that 4-year stretch. Please direct your attention to the south end of the Tucson Arena as we now reveal the banner honoring Kelly Walker. Please welcome back to the ice of the Tucson Arena, number 16, Kelly Walker.
You guys have a chance to show this town college hockey at the greatest level that you guys play. So I'm just extremely humbled to be here, to be in front of you guys, and to be in front of this whole great arena. And it's a very emotional moment for me. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, Andrea. I'd like to thank my line mates, Corey, Johnny, Johnny Wags, Goldsey, Danny Anderson, certainly Tommy Smith. I want to mention thanks to the great presentation that Tim did for me today. I want to thank Coach Burns. I want to make special recognition to Shane Faucell. And I also like to take recognition for every other player who has played here at the University of Arizona, who's proud to have played for the University of Arizona, and who continues to support this great program going forward and in the future. So guys, thank you so much for the tribute. Thanks for the support. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Stay right there. We're perfect. We're perfect. Colorado State's on first, guys. Good work. It's all for the camera. 16.
It's time for another Arizona Wildcat hockey, this or that.
Slap shot or backhand?
Slap shot.
Why?
Not like I can shoot one, but they're a lot harder.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Why?
Do it better.
Thank you. I agree. I would have to agree. Let's see. Crosby or Ovechkin?
Crosby.
Why?
Ovechkin is just like not the best defensive player I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. I think wow. I don't think people are going to like that answer.
It's a hot take, I know, but Ovechkin just not the best defensive player. But Crosby, big two-way forward, and I love it.
Got a good. It's a good point. It's a good point. Let's see. Mighty Ducks or Blades of Glory?
Quack.
Hey. Why or?
I mean, personally, I don't think there's a better hockey movie than the Mighty Ducks. There's 3 of them. We'll forget about.
Well, which one's the best one?
Well, not D2 or D3. It's the first one.
Oh, okay. So just one.
We'll just skip D2 and D3. We can just cut those.
It like never happened.
Yeah, we'll just forget about those.
Boxers or Commando?
Boxers.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just not feeling free today.
Oh, so this is just today, not just in general? Oh, okay. But like normally. Boxers, still it's just boxers?
Commando.
Oh, okay.
Here's Bailey Marshall, the star from Central Oklahoma. Back to Cusinelli, the all-everything star for Arizona. Down to Chris Westland, who sends it in on goal. That's a good idea, and it's right in the slot. And it's a goal for Arizona! I think that's Bailey Marshall. Bailey Marshall, who already had a couple goals last week for Arizona. And that's a big one for the Arizona Wildcats. They even this at 1-1 in the second period. It could go in the period. There's a high hard shot that's just kind of sitting around in the crease. Where's it? It's in the net. That's a goal! Arizona scores the first goal! As the Cats go in the main advantage.
Get the puck up behind the blue line. Down low to Cusinelli. Shoot the puck, Anthony. He does. That's a beautiful shot. Shoot the puck, Anthony Cusinelli. Score the goal, Anthony Cusinelli. Arizona takes a 3-0 lead. Wow!
That's an excellent look by Cusinelli. You saw him look for the pass first, but then he was aware. He had a clear shooting lane, and he took it, and he's one of those guys that can put it just where he wants it.
Anthony Cusinelli turns with it. Oh, naked shot. It gets tipped in. Anthony Cusinelli just threw it towards the net, and I think Bailey Marshall may have tipped that one in. Up the near side boards. That's come away with it. Justin Plummer with the goal. I'm not sure if that's Justin Plummer's goal.
I think that might have been Trey Decker. I'm not quite sure, but
I think Decker just threw that in front and it bounced in.
Arizona's possession of the puck. That can't happen. Cats come over the blue line.
And they shoot, they score! They shoot, they score! Arizona scores!
And that puck was given up. We talked about mistakes. Wow, what a mistake right in front of Joshua George. Anthony Cusinelli had a good shot there, but George saw it and made the save. You know, Anthony Cusinelli, I think, just needs to shoot the puck a little bit more like he did there. He switches now to the center of the ice. Take the shot, Anthony. And he shoots, he scores! Anthony Cusinelli! He shoots, he scores!
Great puck movement there by the Wildcats on the power play up top.
All right, welcome back to the Tucson Arena, where the Arizona Wildcats are up by a score of 7-0 over Missouri State Ice Bears. And one of the guys who's having a great night tonight is captain of the Arizona team, Anthony Cusinelli. First period hat trick, and our own Autumn Freutland caught up to talk to him about that. And as well as if you've noticed, the players are wearing pink jerseys today as well for the Pink the Rink. And we also spoke with Cusinelli about that.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland, and I'm joined here by number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. Anthony, you're having yourself quite a good game. You got a hat trick in that first period. Talk a little about those goals.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good start yesterday too, and part of our game plan was today was making sure we capitalized on all of our chances and kind of bear down, knelt them back in the game. So it was a good start for us.
Now tonight is Pink the Rink night. Obviously, you guys are wearing your pink jerseys. So what does this night kind of mean, and how does it feel for you guys to kind of represent these colors?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a favorite night of the year. Beat up 7-0 is awesome, but we're playing for a better cause today. That's all that really matters.
Now the score is 7-0, like you said. So what are you guys going to have to do in this third period to make sure you guys stay on top?
Yeah, they're not going to quit. I mean, we got to keep playing. Got 20 more minutes. Anything can happen, so we got to keep going here.
Awesome. We've been speaking with number 15, Anthony Cusinelli, and I will send it back up to the booth.
All right, thank you, Autumn. Well, it's always great, you know, Tom, as we talked about, you know, the Pink the Rink nights, and last night we saw, you know, the pucks and paws, and those types of things are always great. You know, some things are, you know, more important than just the game, and to have causes like that really is something that this team I know prides itself on.
You know, and being part of the community, I mean, obviously the U of A is a big part of Tucson, and I think the opposite is true as well. And, you know, fans identify with people in this community, identify with the A and the red, white, and blue, and so it's nice to see the team and the organization able to give back to that community. And there are folks here, they love this team. They love being a part of it. They love coming down to the TCC and the games, and you know, doing something extra to give back, Will, is tremendous, and I'm glad that they do as much as they do, and I'm sure they will continue to extend that outreach. And it's great, you know, fans, obviously we're looking around tonight, we see a lot of pink here, and the fans that are here tonight, and we know that these jerseys, the game-worn jerseys, will be coming straight off the players' backs to those who may have won them in a silent auction or through other means, and you know, that's a tremendous thing as well. Love to see it.
Yeah, you know, this team, especially for a guy like Cusinelli too, you know, they've been through a couple of these games before, and you know, these games are, you know, we said for the fans, the games that they might be circling on the calendar, but you know, for the players as well, you know, these are the unique experiences for them that they'll always remember. And especially for going into the game now, for Cusinelli, this might be a game that he'll always remember. You know, he's having a great one.
Well, absolutely, a first period hat trick, and definitely looking for more out there. It's 7-0 as we're about to start this third period. And for the U of A Wildcats, a nice start coming back from break. They kind of had to hold on a little bit last night, but they did end up with a 4-3 win. Tonight, the outcome not really in doubt, as it was yesterday, although it was 4-1 in the third period yesterday. And, you know, Missouri State came back. But tonight, Will, in this third period, I mean, it can be easy to lose that focus. And that's kind of the other part of it is both teams could easily lose that focus.
Definitely, and I think it's more importantly on a more broad scale. I think in a game like this too, for both teams, you want to get out of this game no injuries. You know, the game for the most part has kind of been decided here. You know, maybe you can have a couple good shifts here and there, but I think for the most part, just don't pick up any injuries, and you know, don't pick up anything that might linger as well. You know, maybe not something that puts you out right away, but you know, all of a sudden, you know, you're feeling the hit, and you know. For Arizona here starting this period as well, you know, down a man, you want to make sure that you're doing all the right things still. You want to make sure you're closing out penalty kills.
Yeah, we will start with Arizona a man down, but only for a few seconds here as Lusby set to come out of the box. And this will be the end of that power play, and out of the box is Lusby. And oh boy, he had a hit lined up right out of there, and just sidestepping it in time was Alex Rubin. Stretch the other way, Lusby trying to beat this one out. He will not, and it results in an icing call and then a hit after the play, and now here we go. Lusby finished the check on Matthew Gregg after the whistle, and boy, now he just got tackled to the ice and had his bucket removed. Well, they might be going right back into the box. That's actually Meyer who had his helmet knocked off. That's the other thing too. You don't want to see it boil over and get out of hand here in the third. So it looks like we're going to even things up here. Well, just when we wondered what kind of period we were going to get, so far not boring, I can tell you that much.
Definitely some chippiness going on, and those types of plays are only going to be more like accentuated and exaggerated. You know, obviously in tight games as well, but you know, when the games are almost out of hand, it's you know, the chippiness is something that kind of bleeds into the game as well, and we saw Lusby making his presence known right out of the gate after the penalty expired, and then trying to beat out that icing. So the physicality is still there, but definitely some chippiness after the whistle now.
Last time we had a 4-on-4. U of A scored twice.
2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 27, Max Meyer. 2 minutes for roughing. Both penalties at 27 seconds in the third period.
Pavalsik had to come up with a big save on a redirect in front, and now he even takes a shot as he got run into there. And nope, this is the kind of third period we're going to have. The frustration is showing and is evident for Missouri State. Well, you got time to go to the fridge, get yourself a sandwich if you're watching at home, maybe a beverage, and settle in for this third period. We might be here a while. Let's see if they're going to start removing people from the game or not. And indeed, that will be the end of the night for Derek Smith. He's out. "45 seconds into the third period, he is removed. Of course, the important consideration, and also Out for U of A will be Ben Jones. He's out.
And I think, I know the fans don't like it, but I think that's the right move. You know, it's just kind of get everything under control. Don't let these just small roughing penalties turn into, you know, things that boil into later into the third period. I think just kind of, you know, just trying to get a hold of it quicker rather than later.
And if you start tossing guys, and that's the threat now. It's like, all right, well, every time it builds, we're going to toss a guy. I mean, you're either going to end up with 6 people left on each bench, or it's going to stop. And I tend to think it's probably going to stop before it gets to that point.
Missouri State penalty on number 27, Derek Smith. 4 minutes, double minor for roughing and a game misconduct. Arizona penalty on number 17, Ben Jones. A 4-minute double minor for roughing and a game misconduct. Both penalties at 45 seconds in the third period.
So that is indeed what we end up with. Unusual, you get the double minors and then the game, but you don't want to give them the fighting major there if you're trying to avoid further suspension or what have you. And that's the difference between the misconduct and the disqualification. So disqualification carries an automatic 1-game suspension. That's why Bailey Marshall did not play last night. So 4-on-4 resumes here, just over a minute to go in that situation. And Arizona looking to move it up ice. Onto the right wing side, Dungy trying to chip it ahead. Here's Hole in, but the puck hopped over his stick. And he lost it in the corner. Hole's a little slow to get up. And he's not. He's still on a knee down there. Looks like he's all right.
And be sure to check out our 6 and 12 game flex packs that are on sale right now.
Minute 34 gone in the third period. 7-0 Arizona. 53 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Marshall's going to try to win this draw back, but controlled by Missouri State. Missouri State trying to drive it over the line. Marshall stole it back, lost it, has to feed it back to the D. Lusby fights through a check and cycles it back to his defense. Marshall backhanded in. Well, Marshall and Lusby out there again together. So, Will, it looks like perhaps Coach Berman really wants to see if he can generate some chemistry with those two.
Yeah, I think so far so good. I do like the play that Lusby has had, especially now with Bailey Marshall being inserted back into the lineup tonight. And those guys seem to be on the same page. And I do like Lusby's game for this opening weekend that he's on the roster. And again, I want to go back to Matthew Hull, who did skate off the ice. You hope he's okay, because I think overall over this weekend set, I think he has looked incredibly well. I mean, he always was a guy who was picking up assists and had a lot of ice time for this team, but coming out of the gate, out of the break, he's definitely noticeably skating really well. You hope that he's just kind of something he can tough out.
Timor moving it over. The 4-on-4 comes to a close. Timor tried another shot, missed the net. Westland, left point, long wrister. That one is held. Easy one for Shuck. Face-off will come to his right. 2:39 into the third period. Arizona controlling the face-off. Rowe sending it back around the rim. He got finished out of the zone there on that check. Chance in front, tip just wide. Lowell run into there. Rowe at the point. Sees the hit coming. Puck stays in. Long shot towards the net. That one is steered aside. Westland on the wall, trying to kick it back down low. Puck in that pile, dug out by Lowell, ends up at center. Rowe tried to step around one, lost the handle on it. He stays up on the forecheck while the Wildcats change. And now heavy hit at center there as Houston got finished off by Lowell. The hitting picking back up a little bit here. Hole onto the right side. Lowell moving it ahead. Could not get it to Cusinelli. up on the forecheck now. Arizona trying to roll through the lines kind of quickly here. Keep some fresh legs out there, it looks like. Nice job there defensively as Hole stood up his check. Boy, Hockey trying to get to the front of the net. Bouncing puck in front, stolen away. Chance maybe for Missouri State here, but that one is blocked on the near side. Saunders fanned on it. Didn't get a lot on that one. Hole will try to skate it out of the zone, gets it to center, feeds it ahead. Here's Dungy left side in with Bird. Dungy, a shot ripped high. All the way back it goes into the Wildcats' end. Lusby trying to wheel his way in, lost the handle. Marshall following it up, kicked it down to Lusby, but he was dispossessed by Bell. Puck is tipped back in. They'll whistle that on the offside. Not quite 5 minutes into this third period. 7-0 Wildcats. Jones and Smith out of the game. Double minors for roughing and game misconducts. The shoulder check variety of hitting has remained high since then, but the shenanigans post-whistle have kind of died down.
Yeah, and I think setting those two guys off is definitely something that has led to that. You don't want to see things kind of lingering, but again, there is still a lot of heavy hitting, so you never know when that can boil back up.
Marshall pushing in on the right side. Here's Lusby behind the net, tried to center it. Ends up at the left point. Timor dances away from one. Timor into the slot. Lusby shot and a left pad saved by Schuck. Valsek will come out to sweep it away from Cooley. Kept in right side. Shot nowhere near the net. Ends up at the left point, and out it goes. Tip back in. Cooley up on the forecheck. Rowe moved it away to the far side. Bird. Bird through center to the right wing. In over the line. Bird driving in the backhand. Cross ice feed shot. They score! What a beautiful pass by Bird over to the far side. Arizona finishing it off to take an 8-0 lead here in the third.
I mean, what's skating there from Kevin Bird? That's some of the best I've seen from him all season, and to kind of move the puck into the zone at ease like that. I mean, that goal was mostly generated by him, and to get that puck across, really, really great shift there from Bird.
Dungy finishing it off. And for Dungy, that is his first goal of the season. So we've seen a couple guys get their first goals this year, but boy, oh boy, give credit to Bird on that one. What an individual effort. Now right back comes Arizona, and offside. So Dungy and Armstrong have both netted their first goals of the year here this evening. Meanwhile, Cusinelli's got a hat trick in this one, all in the first period. Then Bailey Marshall, Max Meyer, and Jesse Lowell, the other goal scorers.
Goal given to number 26, Justin Dungy. The assist goes to number 4, Kevin Bird, and number 20, Manny Rowe. That's Dungy from Bird and Rowe. Time of your Wildcat goal, 5 minutes, 51 seconds in the third period.
So 5:51 time of the marker that makes it 8-0 Wildcats. Dungy finishing off a beautiful effort out of Kevin Bird. Great vision by Bird, too, to see him over there and put the backhand pass across. And really drew the defense to him. Just nice all-around effort. Great play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dungy's definitely thanking him for that one, too. You know, just put him in a position to just where he didn't have to do too much.
6.5 here in the third, but he still had to score the goal.
Yeah.
Stick on the ice, got to put that puck away, and he did.
And there's been a lot of really, honestly beautiful goals from Arizona tonight. You know, we've seen Cusinelli had a couple. You know, Max Meyer had one, and now that last one by Dungy, finishing off the individual effort from Bird. I mean, some really great goals from Arizona tonight.
Cusinelli trying to put it back in short side. Schuck able to hold on as his defense fed him the rebound. Nice job by Cusinelli to beat out that icing. 13:08 showing on that third period clock. 8-0 Wildcats. And Bird in this one, although he's not in the goal scoring column, a couple of assists for him tonight. Always an effort guy out there. You notice him when he's working hard, moving the legs, and generating some chances. As Johansson wheels it back in, takes a hit. There's Olsen with a drive. Save made in the rebound. Dawson Marshall couldn't get there in time. Puck held in left point. Ends up in the corner. Matty. And he fends off a check from Marshall. Lifted high in the air to center, and that'll be tracked down by Concannon. But he turns it over on the near side on the attempted clear. Could have been a penalty called in behind the play there as Lohman got wrapped up with Concannon, but play continues. Lohman centers, puck in the slot, a backhand wide of the net, ends up with Johansson. That one will be cleared off the glass away to center. And Lusby almost just a little poke there away from breaking it alone, but was unable to get it through the D. Icing here against Missouri State. Well, Lusby's been close a couple times. We saw it yesterday, set up for the one time, and you have a feeling you may see more of that from him, but also, he's throwing the body out there, being physical. He's a big guy. I think, as you mentioned, Will, that's going to be a nice addition for Arizona here, and it really does a lot for their depth.
Yeah, definitely to bring that physicality, and then we've seen how well he really has just kind of joined on to this line here with Bailey Marshall as he gets a shot off there. And, to have him, the physicality is obviously something that's noticeable right away, but he has had a lot of scoring chances as well. So to have kind of a two-way guy like that is huge to add to this team.
He's got the puck in a pile over there. Marshall leaving it off at the point, but Arizona giving up the blue line. Timor will rush back in, leaving it to Marshall. Marshall had Lusby in front, just couldn't get him the puck. Marshall trying to cut in himself with a shot that went wide. Rowe gives up the blue line. Marshall backing him up, recovers the puck at center. Meyer, right side, he'll put it in deep. Lusby up on the forecheck. Wildcats changing a bit in behind the play. Stepping up on the left wing. Boy Hockey trying to center it. Puck ends up side of the net. Pavalsik pokes it away with the goal stick. Now here's a chance for the far dot. Shot ripped over top of the net. That goes into the netting out of play. 9 minutes even gone here in this third period. 8-0 Arizona. Missouri State, I think, Will, maybe to start the period, even down 7-0. They were kind of bouncing between two lines, but I think now as the period is worn on, they're kind of rolling through all four options at this point a little more.
Yeah, just kind of gliding through a couple of the shifts here, and as we see Kevin Bird taken down now, but some of the physicality that led to the guys getting tossed, I mean, it's still there. There's still some hitting, but definitely not kind of the after the whistle action. I mean, still some penalties though being taken here. I know that's not something that you want ever, but especially down at this point to pick up a penalty late is always got to be tough.
And so 9-12, time of the tripping penalty issued to Matthew Gregg.
Missouri State penalty on number 20, Matt Gregg. 2 minutes for tripping. Time of that penalty, 9 minutes, 12 seconds. In the third period.
Arizona back on the power play. They have one power play goal here this evening. That one was scored by Bailey Marshall.
Hey fans, be sure to join us.
A couple of 4-on-4 goals, lots of even strength scoring for Arizona here tonight.
It will be the last Thursday of the season.
One back to the point onto the right side. Here's a shot by Hull. Save, rebound, still sitting free in front. Puck is still free right in the slot. And not out. Held in by Arizona. Cusinelli over Marshall, and he golfed it over top of the net. Had to really get down on a knee to get to that puck, so it opened up the blade of the stick and sent the puck over top. Westland on the far side looking for help. Swept up to the left point. Cusinelli moving it over to Hull. Hull, Marshall, near dot, wrist shot, missed the net. Cusinelli, left point. They'll feed to the half wall, the puck turned over, but Kept in. Cusinelli will send it around the rim. Westland. Meyer. Cusinelli. Hole up top. Meyer. Cusinelli. Hole. Hole. Right side leaves for Marshall. Weaving to his left. Cusinelli to Marshall. Shot. Blocked off traffic in front. And Missouri State clears. Finally, a little movement, a little rotation, and boy, look at the chance it generates.
Yeah, that was one of the better chances based off movement there. You know, we saw a hole and Cusinelli kind of switched spots there that opened up the middle of the area there for Bailey Marshall.
Second power play unit out for Arizona. Olsen could not keep the puck in. 9:14 to go here in the third. Time ticking down in the power play, 23 seconds and counting. Lusby, left side, flings it into the corner. Around behind the net, Olsen lets the roller go. Johansson tries to tuck it in front, and puck underneath the goaltender. I actually did not hear the whistle there.
Most guys just kind of assumed that it was going to be a
Everybody just stopped, yeah. That was an interesting moment. But it was either underneath him or in the net, one or the other.
Right.
Either way, stoppage in play. 8:54 to go in this third period. 7 seconds remaining in the Arizona power play. Time ticking down from the goal stick of Bavalsic. Lusby holding it in, chips it to himself on the left side. Able to hold off and now feed to the right point. Concannon lets it go, and the save Shuck, no rebound. Face off will once again be to the left of the Missouri State net. 8:37 to go in the third. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Big giveaway side of the net. Lowell tried to walk it in front, but it was stolen back. Clearing attempt by Brown, not out of the zone. And now on his way up, Salnikov in with a wrist shot. That one missing on the stick side. Down for the left point, holding it in. Hizeroth. Puck cleared and out to center it goes. Under 8 to go now in the third. Tip down, there will be no icing here. Bird up on the forecheck once again. I think we've reached that point of the game, Will, where now you're going to see very few whistles and the urge to keep the play rolling here and just try to burn the remaining 7.5 off this clock. Not that the team stopped playing, but you could just sense the difference.
Yeah.
Nice defensive play there by Hull to cut off that rush. Puck bounced to the line, not out. Kept in on the right wing side. Hedgecock leaving it off behind the net. Hole. Fronted on the forecheck. Moving it along. Dungy couldn't clear it out. Bird couldn't get it out. Kept in. But again, Missouri State really unable to get a shot away there. And a nice job by Arizona collapsing quickly to the shooters. .6:45 to go in the third. And let's see. Arm up. Do we have a... I guess they're going to just put the face-off back down the ice. All right, never mind. For a moment, I looked over when the ref put his arm up right away, which he also does to signify changes. But I thought maybe I missed a penalty behind the play. That's not the case, just icing. Missouri State just trying to fire it out of the zone at this point. Boy, a much different result here tonight than last night. Missouri State pushing in. Here's a chance down low, and that one is fired wide on the backdoor feed. Nice chance there on the setup for Saunders, but he just couldn't find the cage. Driven right back in. Bavalsic cannot slow it down. Puck ends up bouncing in the slot. A little miscommunication there allows it to roll free. Kept on the right side. Lounder now peels out of the forecheck. Rowe will move it ahead. New line jumps out there for Missouri State. Here's Brown looking up the left side. Flipped into the far side corner. Armstrong chasing after it. Armstrong trying to move it along. Puck just over the line, pushed ahead, and now 2-on-1 developing. Here's Bird moving in with Dungy. Bird toe drag to the backhand save. Dungy pushed it wide. Bird sent it right back in front. Nobody there for it. Boy, Bird and Dungy are having themselves a period.
Yeah, a lot of these lines here tonight, are really showing some skill, especially for Bird, a guy who we always highlight for, kind of his work rate, and he gets on the score sheet from time and time again. But he's really had a great couple weekend series. Had his first goal last night, and he almost had a beautiful one right there.
Puck bounces out to center and rolls back into the Ice Bears end of things. Under 5 minutes to go. And now here's Hole stepping up, picked off a puck, but he had that knocked away. Missouri State back on the left side. There's a shot by Cooley. Save made. Bavalsic reaching for the rebound. He's got it. Face-off will stay to his right. And now Arizona maybe might want to focus a little more defensively here with 4:41 left at keeping Missouri State off the board for the remainder of the game. But an 8 spot put up by the Wildcats. That one lobbed way out of play. Hey, Souvenir into section 103.
Please start making your way down to the entrance where the Zamboni is.
So post-game, Autumn Freuland will have a chance to chat with head coach Chad Berman, and then they'll do the post-game here where they welcome the folks onto the ice who have purchased the Pink of the Rink jerseys. They'll be presented the jerseys by the player that they have won down on the ice. That'll happen post-game here. And as I mentioned, some examples of previous player jerseys being worn to tonight's game. Nice to see the building, Will, as you pointed out earlier, of the traditions here for this program.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things that you expect every year. The team is having a great season, and obviously going back to the actual game as well, to have a performance like this on the Pink the Rink night is always a great thing. To come out and really have a great showing on a night that has of this occasion, and again for this whole community, you really do feel. I've kind of bounced back and forth from living in different areas, but I've always kind of came back to Tucson, and I always kind of forget about how much of a college town this really is, and how everything pretty much revolves around the Arizona sports, and this is definitely an example of one of those nights.
Wildcats will push in on the left side. Well, Bird Dungy out there again. And you know what? Coach Berman saying, hey, guys, you're doing pretty well out there. I'm going to keep putting you out there. Why not? They're out there with Cully Olson. Bird up on the forecheck, and he pins the puck down on the wall, but he's going to head off for the change here. Not sure if he got a little stinger on that left arm. He looks like he's hurting a little going to the bench. Hope that's nothing major. Long shot, Bivelsick, and a blocker save, and now he gets bumped there by Lohman, but I don't think there was any intent. 3:24 to go here in the third. Remains 8-0 Arizona. Well, the good news is Bird is not being tended to by the trainer. He's just kind of sitting there on the bench and giving it a couple of deep breaths, so that's a good sign. Bavalsic with another save there on a long-range wrist shot. Rowe will move it out. Lowell ahead. Westland trying to fight through a check to get to it. goes off the stick of Cusinelli, comes down in an offside position. With exactly 3 minutes left to go here in the third, 8-0 Arizona. So will Arizona at home this weekend and next weekend with a Thursday, Saturday split of games coming up, and then on the road for a while.
Yeah, we saw kind of that long home stretch of games, from October all the way through the holiday, and it's great to have a homestand of that length. You can really work on a lot of things. You're not going on the road a lot, but now here comes a challenging part of the schedule after next week's games. They're on the road for a majority of the rest of the way, and to be able to pick up a lot of these home wins now before heading into that stretch is important.
Of course, the Gem Show comes into Tucson and knocks out the ice for everybody for several weeks. The ice gets covered, and actually I think they might actually take it out entirely for the Gem Show. Here's Westland trying to move it in front. But it is the world's largest gem and mineral show here in Tucson. If you didn't know that, Tucson, yes, host to the biggest one in the world. Near side corner, there's a chance, and Cusinelli pushing it wide. Down for the left point, Armstrong holding it in. 2:25 to go in the third, 8-0 Arizona. Missouri State trying to walk the puck in. They can as it's turned right back through center. Lowell was tied up though. Dump back the other way, no icing. Bovalsic will leave it behind the net. 2 minutes and counting to go into third. Armstrong through center. Pass tipped ahead, and the Bird Dungy Olsen unit goes right back out there. Moving ahead now, Concannon with a wrist shot. That one is steered away to the corner. Bird centering, wanted to get it through to Olsen, could not. And the puck comes around onto the near side. Moving it ahead, here's Bell. Weaving it over the line. Bell cuts through the D, poked away. And the puck ends up in the corner. Cooley and Bell have been a dangerous pair together as well out there this weekend for Missouri State. And it's not that Missouri State doesn't have talent, they definitely do. But again, just kind of Jekyll and Hyde one game to the next for these guys, unfortunately. And tonight, definitely not their night on the score sheet as we approach 1 minute to go here in the third.
1 minute left in the third period.
Cooley on the left side, fed it back out of the zone. Selnikov going back for it. Bumped off by Dawson Marshall. 8-0 Wildcats. Well, they do end up with an icing call. Face-off will come back down into the Missouri State end. And getting a chance to get in there and get some action. Bovalsic will come onto the net, and in goes Blake Jones. Jones onto the ice for the remaining 43.9, and the players appreciating that and giving Bovalsic a chance to come off for a bit of a hand. Puck at the right point, Timor with a shot, save made, and no, it's free, they score. The whistle never went, and Shuck thought he had it, he didn't. It was sitting right next to him. Johansson just pots it into the net, and it's 9-0 Arizona, and that will pretty much put a cap on the kind of night this has been for the Wildcats. Jones is a good luck charm. He goes in right away. They score a goal when he's in there. Leave him in. But Will, that kind of encapsulates things here.
Yeah, it definitely puts a stamp on the night, and for a guy like Johansson to get that goal too, a guy who's worked really hard, he's had a couple of chances of his own, for him to pick up a goal, always great to see him on the score sheet.
Give it to number 28, Alex Johansson.
That's his 8th.
The assist goes to number 9, Cameron Timor. That's Johansson from Timor. Time of your Wildcat goal, 19 minutes, 24 seconds in the third period.
And Jones right there had to make a save on his own defenseman. The puck filtered towards the front of the net, and he actually had to make a stop on the redirect. Unbelievable. That one is played around down the ice. This will be icing. Well, it's a good thing you got a chance to stretch out a little bit there. You had to use it. Well, 5'11" of them. He had to get that leg out there going the other way. Face-off will be to his right. Armstrong in the near corner, a centering feed once again right in front. He has to be quick with the cover one more time. Oh, here we go. 7 seconds left, and we get a pile behind the net. I thought we were going to get out of here quietly, Will.
It's been a while since we've seen one of these scrums after the whistle, too. So, you know, it felt like it was just kind of waiting it out. But apparently they still had a little bit left in them.
And will not escape penalty free. There'll be some complaining here, but I mean, everybody will head off to the locker room, I believe. That'll pretty much do it for the rest of the night for Armstrong. And I don't know if they'll take anybody else or not here. I thought perhaps they might, but maybe not. Still talking it over here in the referee's crease. I don't know what they're going to come out with here. I mean, quite honestly, maybe you just pick two guys and toss them out. And there are penalties up on the board for Armstrong and Bell. But to be quite honest with you, I don't see any reason why there should be anything further coming out of what was really kind of a minor scrum. Yeah, all right, give them 2 minutes of roughing and just get them out.
Right.
I don't know that you even need a game misconduct in this situation. So it's 9-0 Arizona with 7 seconds left. I might have almost been inclined with 7 seconds left to just give out a couple of 10s, not even 2s, but just a couple of 10s, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, don't even bother with the minors.
Right.
Just say, all right, guys, you're out. And will they bring the face? Yeah, face-off should come outside. Face-off does come outside.
2 minutes for roughing, 5-minute face mask and a game misconduct. Wildcat penalty on number 8, Cam Armstrong, a game disqualification for headbutting. Both penalties at 19 minutes 53 seconds in the third period.
Well, that's not good. So game disqualification for a headbutt means Armstrong will not play the next game. 2 and 5, Bell, rough and a face mask penalty. So that's unusual. And the game ends without incident. And look at how excited everybody is for Blake Jones. He gets in, plays just a little under the last minute of the game, and gets this one over the line for the shutout for U of A. So Jones will share that shutout along with Bavalsic, who records his first shutout of the year. So good to see for the Arizona Wildcats as they go into the handshake line. And for the Wildcats, oh my, able to come out with a big win here, and one they definitely needed. Not the easiest road for this team this weekend in game one. It was 4-1. It looked like it was going to be all over but the shouting, but then all of a sudden it was 4-3. And that was the final in that one. But then tonight, 5-0 after one. And we end up with a 9-0 final. And so as the teams go through the handshake line here, we will have Autumn Freutland downstairs. And she will chat with Coach Chad Berman and possibly a player of the game as well here in just a moment. And when Autumn is ready, we will toss it down to her at ice level. And let's see here. She should be ready in just a moment. And it looks like she does indeed have her player of the game in Blake Jones joining her.
Hi, I'm Autumn Freutland. I'm joined by #1 Blake Jones. Blake, that was your first start ever. How does it feel?
It feels incredible. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I couldn't have done it without a great team and a great coaching staff. And I got to thank Bivo for letting me hop in there, take over his shutout, but I really appreciate it, and it's quite the team.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. How do you feel that your team played here tonight?
Oh, we played great. Our team's always been something really special, and this year I think we really got everything we need, and it's good to see that no matter how many guys are out or what the challenges are, our team always pulls through, and they pull through it a big way.
Now, what a game to start for you tonight. This is the Pink the Rink night. So what does this game kind of mean for you guys?
It means something special for all of us, and me personally, my grandma was a breast cancer survivor, so this means a little something extra for me too, and it's just awesome that we can come together as a community like this and help out.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your first start.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now I'm joined here by head coach Chad Berman. Coach, what a game, off to a great start with Anthony Cusinelli and his hat trick. How cool is it to see a guy like that get rewarded with such a great game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Coos is dangerous anytime the puck's on his stick in the O-zone, so we've seen that a lot. It might be new for some people. We see it every day, so.
And a lot of guys actually got their names on the scoring sheet tonight, a vast majority of these guys. So how cool is it to see those guys also perform quite well here?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get in the top 10 without depth, so obviously we've got a lot of guys who can contribute. We've had a lot of musical chairs with rosters and injuries, and, you know, nothing's changed, though, and I think that's more reflective of the program than it is the team. That just says that we're kind of a well-oiled machine where we can absorb those things and continue to move on.
And then next week you guys take on Grand Canyon University. What are you guys going to have to do to prepare for those games?
Yeah, we want to build off this. There's some things we can still improve, but we got some. You know, when you get a margin like this, you can get guys in different opportunities, like PK and stuff that we wanted to be able to get. We'll get it on film, and that'll make us a better team in the long run, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Coach.
Also, I want to thank everybody for purchasing the pink jerseys, for taking part in this. It's really an honor to represent the name of whoever it is on the back. So just know that we appreciate your support, and hopefully we represent those people well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach, and congratulations on a great win. If you're joining us on our YouTube or Facebook broadcast, I will send it back up to the booth with Tom and Will. If you're joining us in-house tonight, I hope you join us next week when we take on Grand Canyon University. But for now, we hope you guys stay as we do the Pink the Rink jersey ceremony.
All right, thank you, Autumn. Well, you know, a lot of things to take away from in this game and really this weekend series as well. 2 wins, that's obviously the broad picture is they came away with the home sweep here. But tonight specifically, goals came flying in all over the place. Bivalsic, though, before we talk about all the goals, kind of under-the-radar shutout performance for him.
You know, it really was, because there were periods of time where he wasn't busy at all. And I think that actually, and speaking as a guy who played goalie my entire life, that can be tougher than when you're busy all the time, you're always in the game. But when you're single-digit shots in a period, that means, well, sometimes for minutes at a time, you have no work. The puck's not even in your zone. So that can be tougher to stay focused the entire time. But I thought Biv did a great job tonight, staying focused. It was great to see Jonesy get in at the end there. And you know what? I think this is a big team win, and that's exactly what they needed coming out of this break, especially after last night was a little close, probably too close for comfort. I think they really took command tonight.
Definitely, and you know, for both the goalie play and all the goals that were scored, it's something to take away as well is kind of adding. Now you add Lusby into the lineup, and now you have some more depth. You have the flexibility to now you have drop Bailey Marshall down, or not down necessarily, but onto a different line than he's playing with Cusinelli and Westland, and now he's back with like Lusby and Max Meyer. Now you have a plethora of different lines that can really get some scoring done.
And different combinations. Obviously, we saw that Lusby and Marshall were paired together even in 4-on-4. So I think that Coach Berman wants to see if he can get those guys going a little bit together. But if not, you know, there's a lot of options, like you say. You know, you can move some guys up and down on that right side as well. You know, you can put Lusby on his off wing. He seemed to enjoy it over there on the power play. So you do have some flexibility, and it's nice to have that depth. And plus, you know, we saw that we mentioned Bird, who had a great third period, couple of assists, setting up that beautiful goal by Dungy. I mean, you know, when those guys were going well, kept putting them back out there. You know, hey, all right, guys, show me what you got. Show me what you can do. And I think that will bode well in some pressure situations later on in the season.
Absolutely, and you mentioned, you know, the Kevin Bird, and then going back to the first period where you have Lowell pick up a goal and an assist right away. So to have guys coming from whatever line it is to have that scoring production and not necessarily have to rely on the Cusinellis, who did have a great game tonight, but to not have to rely on Cusinelli to bring that performance every single night. It's nice to have that scoring kind of fluctuate. Now back to Cusinelli, what a great game from him, maybe his best of the season.
Yeah, I mean the hat trick in the first period, and he was thirsty for more. He didn't get any more goals, but there were a couple of times he was pretty close, and it's good to see him. Yesterday it was Westland, today Cusinelli. I mean, you hope, you know, Bailey Marshall did score today, but you'd like to see him, you know, maybe a multiple goal game in the future. And who knows? I mean, Lusby could have a breakout game coming up here as well. So you hope all those things start to come together, and couldn't come at a better time. In the second half of the year is when you really need to build everything into what it needs to be heading into the tournament. This is one of the toughest tournaments to win in all of college sports, because you have to be on for a week straight, and that's what this team needs to be built for.
Definitely, and how important it was to get these 2 wins as well. You know, yeah, it's easy to say you're going to turn the page in the new year, and yeah, obviously the record is still great, but the last 2 games headed into the holiday break kind of left a bad taste in the mouth of the team, and I know that they were not wanting to, you know, they were not wanting to continue those kind of slumps that they had of those last 6 periods headed into the holiday. So it's one thing to say that you want to turn the page, but it's another thing to do it. And so I think, you know, picking up a win when they were shorthanded last night, and then to pick up this huge win here as well, it just sets everything off into motion in the right direction.
It does, and it's nice now. You get a couple days of practice under your belt. You come right back against Grand Canyon, and you know, really get it going against them, and maybe you come out with another couple of wins. Now you've got momentum heading on to that big road trip we were talking about. They'll be gone for a while coming up. And you need to get through that stretch with your head above water. So, you know, you build things the right way, and you're patient, and you know what, you're not, every shift is not going to be perfect. Every shift is not going to be the one you want. But I think what we saw this weekend was, from game 1 to game 2, a much better Wildcats team. And so that gives me, you know, some excitement and something to look forward to here coming up next week against Grand Canyon, the improvement. And you know what, Will, it's a long season. And so when you get these games, you have to celebrate them, but you still got to get back to work.
Absolutely, and you did have mentioned, you know, how some of the games that are going to be coming up on the road, that long road kind of not stand, but kind of road trip series, where they're going to have to be beating teams on the road now. And you know, for a team who has been winning a lot of these games at home, now you're going to be really tested truly against some of these really great teams. But before that happens, next week we'll have Grand Canyon here for a Thursday night game, and so that will be 7:30 as well. 7:15 for the broadcast. So for all of us with the media team, for Tom Callahan and myself, Will Harmon, thank you so much for watching Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Thank you for watching University of Arizona Wildcats hockey. Visit our website at ArizonaWildcatHockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.